Okay, welcome to the Nateland podcast. Hello, folks. Hey, Bear. That's the first time I said folks in a while. It didn't come out right. It didn't come out right. I didn't know that I could do it. I'm back. Dusty Slay's back.
Welcome. It's been a while.
Oh, man, I'm pumped to be back. People thought I had died. They thought I was never coming back. Some people were excited about it. I was scrolling through comments. Some people were very sad that I was gone, and then I read other comments like, "Oh, Dusty's not on this one. I can't click fast enough." And I find that to be a little ridiculous. It's like, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? I get it when you miss me, but if I'm not here and you're excited about it, what's that all about?
It's a good episode, though.
Was it?
It's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've told people you'll be back as soon as Nate's not here.
Yeah,
and
that's what I always say. Everybody knows that's the deal.
As long as y'all aren't in the same room together.
That's right.
One of you will be here.
Court ordered by Nate. Okay. Well, listen.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, it is a joke. I'm here with
Aaron Weber,
all my favorite co-hosts.
And
Dustin.
Go ahead.
Dustin Chafin.
Dustin Chafin.
There you go. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Let's not make it weird, guys. I mean, I was looking for it to be on here somewhere. No, I did know. I did know, but the Chafin was not.
It's a weird one.
Me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
People used to call me that. I would chafe a lot. And,
now we're going down the last name jokes. Wow.
I did used to get that a lot when I waited tables. I looked like I'd been riding a horse after a double shift.
Save a horse.
Yeah.
When I was doing research for this,
Brian Bates.
Oh, good to see you, Brian.
Hey, I
didn't know you were here. All right,
yeah. When I was doing research for this week's podcast, which we're talking about music today, I was looking at Dustin's bio to see what to talk about. It's basically Dusty or everything Dusty will do in one day.
Okay.
Born in a double wide trailer.
Yes, Kilgore, Texas. Yep.
That seems rich to me.
It was
double wide, huh?
Double wide. Yeah.
You were a missionary in Chile,
Santiago. Yep.
Yeah, wow. But you'll probably escape to South America at some time.
Sure.
At some point.
Sounds like you had a good family.
Yeah.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only one that hasn't been arrested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Stand-up comedy and a huge music lover. I mean, you guys got a lot.
I like the cow hat.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Grandson of Choctaw Indians.
Yes, and they got the Indian blood.
You got some Indian blood, right?
Yeah.
I don't think so, but my area that I'm from is where a lot of the Creek Indians were.
Oh, okay.
It was the last kind of place of the Creek Indians.
Okay.
Trail of Tears, I think they were part of that.
Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah. Choctaws, Chickasaw.
Yeah.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Well,
so fun stuff.
Good to have you, Dustin. I'm excited.
I like an awkward start.
Yeah.
Have y'all not done an episode together on this podcast before?
I don't think so.
First time you've met? Or have you
met at Bridgestone.
Oh, okay.
And then I think maybe one other place. That's about it. We don't spend a lot of time together.
I typically do take off when there's guests. Not because I don't like the guests, but it's a lot of people on this podcast.
Yeah.
So I feel like when there's a guest, it's like, you don't need me.
Yeah.
Well, it's
still fun.
How many people ideally? Just one?
On a podcast?
Yeah.
I would think 2. I think 2 is the ideal number.
Okay.
On a podcast.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But one person do all the talking, but you need one person there as kind of an audience.
Okay.
So no guests, just 2 always.
No.
Like somebody just to bounce stuff off of.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to just sit in a room and talk to yourself.
Right.
But
so a producer, somebody running the mic.
Yeah.
To be in the room
like
with
even
you.
some like talk radio shows you listen to, and they'll talk to someone, but that person never says anything.
Right. They're barely mic'd up.
Yeah.
Well, this is a show with 4 people at a desk, just so.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not perfect, but we're going to make do with what we got today.
Yeah, we're doing it. You know, we're doing it. We are going to do the do. We're going to cold or warm. We're doing it.
Well, welcome back. And welcome back to you.
Welcome back to you, Dustin.
This is your third time, I think?
Third, fourth. Yeah, it might be the 4th time. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this, but my real name is Dustin.
Yeah.
So a couple of Dustins on the podcast.
And I will fist fight you if you call me Dusty. So.
Oh, you don't
really?
You don't like Dusty?
Oh yeah, it was a rough one. Yeah.
Okay.
Teachers, I was like, that's.
You never went through a phase where it was kind of
never a Dusty.
See, it was the opposite.
It's good for you.
I had teachers were like Dustin, and every day, every first day of school, I would have to correct them and go, "It's Dusty," and then they were always cool with it.
Yeah. How about Dust? I like Dust.
Dust is
pretty
fine.
solid.
Dust Just Dust Man.
Yeah,
I don't
Dust
mind.
Man.
Yeah. I don't mind any of that.
Dusted. Yeah.
Dustbin.
Dusted. I feel like dusted is like almost like a fart thing. You know,
Yeah, he dusted this whole
Crop
crowd.
dusted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Crop dusty.
Yeah. I like that.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
This is good stuff,
It's a
man.
Dustin episode. I love it.
Yeah.
You can already clip out this.
This is the kind of stuff you can only have with 4 people on the pod.
Yeah.
If it was just you, Dustin, you would never have got the crop dusty.
We have to have another Dustin
true.
for that.
That's true.
That maybe I do a podcast on my own with a producer named Dustin.
There you go. I got you. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We were thinking Dustin Nickerson. Sorry.
Yeah.
Call
Then
it-
there's that
and
guy.
We'll call it Crop Dustin.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got news here to read.
Yeah, a lot going on with Nateland.
Nateland news and upcoming events. Sometimes I say when Nate's not here, it's like we're doing a Nate tribute podcast.
It is like he died.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff on the wall, and then we're like, hey, here's stuff Nate's doing.
Yeah. Everyone go around and tell your favorite Nate memory.
All right, here's it's broken down into 3 categories here. The first category is Nate.
All right.
This is the Nate news. Tickets on sale for Big Dumb Eyes World Tour at natebargatze.com.
Yeah.
CBS Christmas Special airs December 19th. And if you're looking for a backseat driver, check me out as the new voice of Waze.
Check Nate out.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Check Nate out. Okay. Okay.
You're like
I was
Ron
like,
Burgundy. You're going to read whatever's on that
Yeah,
paper.
I was like, I had no idea.
Yeah, I'll edit on the fly. Don't worry about me.
Okay. The next category is Dusty.
Okay, this should be. You should,
This should be-
you
yeah.
should be really good with this.
My next 1-hour special is being filmed on February 28th.
oh, you added my to that too.
I did.
Yeah, that was really well done.
Well, it's when it applies to me. I know how to manipulate it.
okay. February 28th at
My
the Walker
next
Theater.
1-hour special is
Yeah.
going to be filmed on February 28th at the Walker Theater in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Amazing.
And you can still get tickets at dustyslay.com. Not very many left to the early show. It will fill up, though.
Okay,
I'm not going to
yeah.
tell you it's going to fill up fast, but it will fill up.
We got time, but get those tickets.
My promotional team has a way of bullying people in the door last minute.
promotional team.
Yeah.
Look at that.
They'll get
Promotional
people. They'll get
teams.
people in there.
Yeah.
They'll get 'em in there.
Promotional team.
Yeah. Well, I'm a public figure. I'm a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
deal,
yeah.
guys. And the last category is Nateland. That applies to all of us here.
Okay.
And Nateland will be recording Mike Vecchione's Hour Special in Nashville on December 28th.
All right.
Tickets available for both shows.
That's awesome.
No indication of how many, but there are some available.
But get them. It's a
Get
small
'em.
room. They're going to fill up.
And Mike Vecchione's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best.
Last thing. Some great podcasts. Catch The Consumers every Tuesday and Don't Make Me Come Back There every Thursday. So you can catch podcast Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all Nateland affiliated. So you never have to sit around and listen to your own thoughts. You can always have somebody speaking into your ears.
That is beautiful, Dusty. That is beautiful.
You know what I mean, though? That is what podcasts are, though.
Of course.
You ever like being like, oh, pretty sick of thinking these thoughts.
Right.
What are these other people thinking?
Right.
All the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then to have a podcast, it's like you're just talking to yourself, but then, you know, you have an audience.
I know. Say, hey, you guys want to listen to the things that I say?
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that don't.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Bill
a couple
Burr
of
does
people
that.
that are
yeah.
pretty public about not wanting to hear what I have to say.
Who's that?
I don't know, random YouTubers.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not that public because I go, I try to go onto their feeds and see what they're up to creatively. Never anything. They don't even share. They don't even share a photo of themselves. They don't even. There's some weird name, and they don't do anything creatively.
Yeah.
They just come on and go, "You're not doing that right."
Right. Right. Well, I'm sure they're happy with how their life's going.
Yeah, it's going well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me tell you about our next sponsor, Viore. Viore's the new perspective on performance apparel. It is perfect if you are sick and tired of traditional old workout gear.
And I am.
But mainly, it is by far the most comfortable and best-looking thing I wear. Viore is incredibly versatile and designed to look great in everyday life. I love to wear it when I'm traveling and recording this podcast. It is so comfortable, but it also looks great. Everything is designed to work out in, but it can also be used for almost anything like traveling, swimming, yoga, even doing weekend errands.
Woo.
That feels like I'm talking to a friend. So it's not just for that. It's perfect for everyday wear. I have some of the Dream Knit collection. I got the Ponto Performance joggers. They're just super soft, lightweight, and they have a relaxed fit. It's my favorite thing to wear when I travel because they have a 4-way performance stretch, which helps with being so comfortable. I really like their website. It's super easy to navigate. I just go on there and order some styles from the Dream Knit collection, usually the Ponto pants, but all of it's great. It is great stuff. It is very comfortable, and it looks good. Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/Nate. That's VUORI.com/Nate. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for terms and conditions. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/Nate and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions. All right. Well, what about Brian? What were you up to this weekend?
I didn't do a lot. I had some corporate Christmas parties that I performed at. I just didn't show up.
Okay.
But nothing public.
What would they talk to us about them? What were they? What was the experience like?
One of them was for a pest control company.
Okay.
And, that went pretty well. I mean, it was mostly guys. So.
Did you do my Spectracide joke?
No.
You should have did it. Just, it's pesticide company.
Yeah. It's mostly dudes.
Mostly dudes, and that's tougher.
And that doesn't happen that often.
Mm-mm.
It's usually women that bring men to things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right?
but at a pest control company, it's usually only dudes that work
Do you think they'd have their wives there or something? There might be women there.
There were women there,
Yeah.
but it was majority men. And so, but
it's a male-dominated industry.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of those industries that women really aren't trying to get into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then the other one was
poisoning animals. You'd think they'd be into that.
Yeah.
We had pest control come to our house today, and it was a lady.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What was her name?
I didn't ask. Margaret.
Okay.
Was that rude of me not to ask her name?
Nah, I don't know. Did she do a good job?
I took my dog for a walk while she
Oh, yeah.
was in there.
You don't want
It's
the dog
tough to
around.
tell if they ever do a good job. Only by do insects show up later.
Yeah.
You only know if it didn't work.
And they go, well, some insects are going to show up.
Yeah. They go, you need to pay me to do this more often.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
So last week, Nate invited me to go with him to Talk of the Town, which is the local talk show here in Nashville at the station I used to work at for many years. So we went to Talk of the Town. Nate was on, and I hung out. And then afterwards, he's like, "You want to go out to eat?" And I was like, "Sure." So we go to this restaurant, and of course, valet parking. And he's like, "I don't have any cash on me. You got any cash?" And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And then we get in there. He's like, I forgot to bring my wallet. So I had to pay for the entire experience.
Nice.
So, I'm not going to let Nate forget it.
Did he bring you on the air with him, or did you?
No.
Did anybody recognize you at the station?
No.
Jeez.
No, they did.
Okay.
They did.
Okay.
If I just go up to people, remember me?
Yeah.
I do not.
You worked there for how long? Like
Almost 20 years.
Okay, so yeah.
And I've been gone 10 years this month.
Wow.
December 17th was my last day there.
Wow.
2014.
That is how it is, though. We always think that when we leave, people are really going to miss us. It's going to be a big impact.
Mm-hmm.
The world keeps spinning.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
When I used to wait tables, I would think, when I leave this place, they're going to miss me. But they're really like, hey, can I get his shifts?
Yeah.
Did you leave on bad terms, Brian?
No.
No. I can't imagine you've ever left a job on bad terms.
Well, I haven't had that many jobs because I was there for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
But I didn't put in a 2-week notice like Dusty.
You probably did a 2-month notice.
I did.
Yeah.
I told them on my birthday, November 3rd, and I left on December 17th.
Oh, wow.
So a month and a half notice.
Yeah.
So I gave them plenty of.
Yeah, it's
You've been
almost-
there 20 years. You need to give them more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's almost better to get for you to give a longer notice because you know that you're quitting. And what I always like about it is any of the drama, any of the work drama no longer matters to you because you're out of there at any time.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I could leave now.
I remember I thought they would just leave me alone for that last month and a half, but everybody else still has to work.
Right.
So they were still, on me about stuff like, hey, what about this? What about this? And I'm like, I'm quitting, right?
Exactly. It's not about them wanting you to keep working. It's about you knowing that it don't matter.
But I wanted to go out as a good employee.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, sure.
Did you take anything? Any swag or anything?
nah, maybe some pins or something.
Yeah. Did you
Box
think
of
maybe
pens.
I'll come back to this, so I better not burn this bridge?
You
Was there
never
ever-
know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Still
Dustin,
time.
have you ever left a job in a blaze of glory, like kicked open the door and screamed at everybody and let them know what you really think and then get out of
I
there?
feel like that's what my first 10 years of comedy's been. Just drunk, just
Burning bridges.
yeah, just yelling at people I shouldn't be yelling at, and
Uh-huh.
just getting kicked out and banned at clubs. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
pretty
Well,
rough 10
Dustin,
years.
What was your weekend like?
This weekend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun. My girl is a comedian, my girlfriend of 18 years, Leah Bonema.
Very funny.
And she's great. And we've been driving from LA to Maine. And along the way, we've been doing we did mic drop comedy in Plano and
Oh,
just
nice.
some places in Arizona. And it's it's our first time touring together. And we did one tour
In 18 years.
in 18 years. Because it's like, I don't know if you ever dated a comic.
You're like, this is going pretty well. Let's try to go on
we're
tour
not,
together.
Well, we're not like comic couple heavy,
Yeah.
We just we have our own thing going. So I never
Yeah.
wanted to be like, she's my girlfriend. I'm the older
Package
comic.
deal,
Yeah, it's like some people do it well, like Bonnie and Rich Voss and like people, but we're just not that. But it's been great. And the first time we toured once, Nate and Leah, they both opened for me in Iraq. That was the only time we ever worked together.
Okay.
Wow.
So when the three of us were in Djibouti, Africa, and Iraq for a military tour.
Wow.
Okay.
But but being in a car with two dogs and the girlfriend is kind of like a war zone. So it's very similar
Yeah.
to that. But it's been cool, man. Just seeing the country, just driving
Yeah.
the car.
You know what the capital of Djibouti is?
No.
Djibouti.
Is it?
Yeah. Djibouti.
Djibouti.
That's the capital. Dusty, I mean, your wife did stand up, and y'all did not. Y'all tried to tour together for a
We
minute,
worked
right?
the road quite a bit together.
Yeah.
Did you?
But, of course we fought, but, we fight, even when they're not touring together.
She posted a video today talking about your weekend. Two
Yeah.
Rams butting heads
Yeah.
together.
We do it every day.
You guys, does she still do comedy or?
No, she does. She has an Instagram that's going pretty well.
Okay.
Too well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
She does little
Yeah,
sketches.
kind of
and-
annoyingly well.
Yeah.
Yeah. She makes great stuff though.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying that I've done all these things with comedy and then she'll make a video and they're funny, but it'll she's got a couple that have gotten multi-millions of views where I'm like, well, come on. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not for the weak. Like two comics dating each other. Because
No.
my whole thing is just like there's nobody in charge with us. Like there's
Yeah.
it's like a comedy condo. It just feels like and we end every argument with, "Hey, I'm going to use that." Just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like,
Sure.
like your life is on.
Oh, yeah.
Every joke she does is like
Well,
about me.
My thing is like say I'm on the road with Aaron and say Aaron doesn't do well on a show.
Mhm.
That's not my problem, right? I don't, but if
Yeah.
my
You
wife
kind of like it, actually.
Yeah. But if my wife doesn't do well, it is my problem.
Yeah,
I go, like, let's say Aaron didn't do well on a set.
yeah.
And then I go on next.
Let's see if
and
we can
I
imagine that.
and I-
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
and then I do
with you.
well.
Seen it once. Yeah.
I go back to my hotel. I call my wife. I go, yeah, the show was really tanking. And then I turned it around, baby. But if it's my wife, there's
Yeah.
no one for me to tell.
Yeah.
There's no one for me to tell that I turned the show
You go,
around.
they were weird.
Yeah.
Knowing you
I
can't.
don't know how they got
Yeah.
straightened up for me, but
You warmed them up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like we always say we can't bomb on the same night. Like
Yeah.
we have to, we have to spread it around a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, as comics, we always say we just want to bring laughter and joy to people. But then if we have a bad set, we don't want anyone on that show to
Yeah.
have a good
Yeah,
set.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is the
'Cause
worst.
we want to blame
yeah.
it on the crowd.
Yeah. That crowd doesn't deserve joy.
Yeah.
If you don't laugh at my jokes, you don't deserve happiness.
Yeah. You're just not smart.
Yeah.
You walk off, you're like, oh, this crowd's terrible. And then everybody else does great. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, boy.
That is the worst.
Where was I? Oh, I was in Dallas at a corporate gig. Did a Christmas party. I had the show. Everybody there was nice. It was a great company. It went fine. I did have a moment, like in your set where you're like, I'm kind of like flailing for like not 30 seconds, but you're just like, I don't know what to do next.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can see it in people's eyes. This could be turned bad quick. And I grabbed the mic stand and I shattered the mic stand. Like the top of it that holds the mic, I like reached for it to like as like a crutch.
Yeah.
And I just shattered it, dude.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was so quiet in the room at the time that the plastic hitting the ground, everybody heard it. It was
Wow.
just such a like,
What do you
what
say?
is happening? I go,
Shrapnel hits people.
I just talked about that, and that kind of got everybody
Yeah.
back. But it was just such an awkward moment.
You're like, I'm strong, guys.
I never
Look at me.
No, I never.
I've been working out. I had no idea.
I was
That's your new
well,
closer,
wanna
just destroying.
just breaking the
stuff.
mic stand. Just
Yeah, you're like an 80s rock band. You're smashing the mic stand.
just apologize to the venue. You know, I'm sorry. I'm up here breaking the mic stand at this place, but it was good. Connor Larson, our buddy from Nashville, came with me. It was just fun to just
All
pop
right.
in, do a show, come on back. So,
We're about to go to Vegas. Me and
you and Connor? Oh,
Next
that'll be
week.
fun.
Next
Yeah,
week.
that's great. What about you, Dusty? Where were
Actually,
you?
maybe the day this podcast comes out, I'll be in Vegas. Well, this is what this weekend I went to my hometown. I was off work, but I went to my hometown of
Could've been working.
Opelika, Alabama, to be the Grand Marshal of the Christmas Parade.
All right.
Opelika. Yeah, there I am, Grand Marshal, Dusty Slay. That's me and my wife and my daughter, both wearing tiaras. They got really into it. They're ready to seize power. And then
I'm sorry.
and then I met the mayor,
Yep.
Mayor Fuller of 20 years, and I received a key to the city of Opelika.
That's incredible.
Look
dude.
at that.
Look
Key
at
to the
that.
city.
That's
Look at
legit.
that.
Incredible.
That is legit.
Yes, it is a great honor to have grown up in this town.
Yeah. To have terrorized it for much of your youth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, in my
Yeah.
youth, I was a very nice kid, and then when I turned 16, I got a little wild,
Uh-huh.
and but yeah, I mean, I've been pretty wild in Opelika, but I've always liked Opelika,
Mm-hmm.
and
You've never disparaged
Yeah,
it.
you've always said good things.
You've never talked down on where you're from.
and it's very nice to get some recognition out of my hometown to have them. The mayor, he didn't say who the other one was. He's been mayor 20 years. He said he's only given out 2 of these keys.
Whoa.
He didn't say who the other one was, but it was a big deal.
Wow.
He gave me a hat, but it was a real floppy hat. I don't wear floppy hats, so I put it over my other hat.
Just to give it some shape.
Yeah. And
Hey,
it was
floppy hats.
yeah,
What can you do with that key?
I assume I can, do whatever I want.
Mhm.
I'll ride around with it in the car. Next time I get pulled over in Opelika, I'll pull it out and I'll go, better luck next time, guys.
Yeah.
And,
Maybe it opens every business in
yeah,
Opelika.
maybe so.
Every vending machine.
A lot
But
of people say Dusty doesn't like Christmas. I say no, he does like it if it's about him.
That's
And,
right. That's what
well,
it is.
That's what it's supposed to
focus
be.
just-
about.
well, no, but this
I'll
is
go
what
to a
I'll-
Christmas parade if it's about me.
this is what I'll say. I'm not into Christmas, but
Right.
I'm not gonna, they wanted to honor me and they wanted
Mhm.
to do nice things for me, and
Of
I'm
course.
not gonna, refuse that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
of
you know.
course.
And also, we had the largest tree in Alabama.
What?
Opelika has the largest tree in Alabama, and then Mayor Fuller lit the tree,
Mhm.
and everybody cheered.
Then an
and-
Alabama fan poisoned it.
yeah, yeah.
Largest tree in Alabama.
Now, where did it come from?
I don't know.
Is this it right here in the back?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, this guy in this picture right here, this is.
I need that for my Charlie
this
Brown.
is Stephen Bass.
Oh yeah, fan of the podcast.
Yeah, we hung out for a while, and that's my wife and Stephen Bass. We hung out for a while. Very nice guy.
Yeah, he emailed us that.
Plays pickleball with Kid Rock. He says.
Yeah.
Man, who doesn't?
Yeah. But that's a church in the background. Opelika is very nice. We got a very
It is
nice
a nice
downtown.
city.
And it was
Yeah.
a big parade. It's a nighttime parade. Over 15,000 people, I think, were in attendance.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm asking is
And there's a nice reel of it on my Instagram if you want to go check it out.
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Yeah.
does Opelika always have the largest Christmas tree? Is that a thing, or is it just this year?
I think this year.
And I guess,
Birmingham couldn't afford a tree this year.
yeah, I guess I'm wondering, like, how do they know that, or where did they must have some record to
I
show?
think it was only 3 feet shorter than the one in New York City.
Do we want to watch this real quick?
No.
You don't have to watch it, but as long as people know.
Dusty Slay here. We're in Opelika, Alabama at the Snowpelika Parade. It's about to get started.
I'm the Grand Marshal. We're having a good time. It's a quick reel. National Lampoon's Roadmaster here. I'm Chevy Chase. This is my wife, Beverly D'Angelo. Hi. I set my daughter on top of the car, which is probably very
Where's
unsafe.
your son?
We didn't want to take him.
He's back in Nashville.
Yeah. Nah, it was cold.
Yeah.
Nashville gets a good bit colder than Opelika. And man, it is pretty funny how everybody was acting like it was real cold. My family, they were all like, oh God. I mean, I was like, it's kind of cold out here, but it's really not that cold. You just got to layer up right.
I'm bummed I turned the audio off in this video because the mayor said we're having a good time.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's awesome, man. What a cool thing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
For an Alabama boy.
Yeah.
Big time.
I apologize to them for making a joke about Western Sizzling and getting it bulldozed to the ground.
Congratulations, Dusty.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, I don't think people
awesome.
cared. Oh, Western Sizzling had been around for like 30 or 40 years.
Right.
And I think by its end, people were like, it's kind of getting gross here now.
Right.
It had a real heyday, though.
Yeah.
A real hot spot for a while. Sign's still there. I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, you got to get it.
I want that sign.
Go flex that key to the city. They'll give you the sign.
Exactly.
I'll give it to you.
Exactly. All right. Well, should we get into these comments?
Yeah, let's get into the
Let's
comments.
do it.
Here we go. Miss B Karaoke B. Oh, comments come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast reviews, and Nateland at natebargatze.com.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Miss B Karaoke B. Dustin is my absolute favorite guest on the show.
Nice.
All caps.
All caps. She's that excited. You know Miss B Karaoke B?
I don't, and she's a good time. Karaoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yep.
Yeah,
Those are the fans.
Yeah.
I like that. All caps. I mean,
That's
listen,
huge.
she's Miss B, but she's also Karaoke B.
Yeah.
Right.
Karaoke B in the streets.
That's right.
Miss B in the
Yeah. You just need one fan, and this
At the house.
is it right here.
Okay. Okay. William Galliano. You think that's it? Galliano?
Yeah. Nailed it.
I have a feeling once Dusty makes enough money or gets tired of comedy, he will disappear from the face of the earth.
Oh yeah, that is
Yeah,
100%
you're right
accurate.
about
And
that.
there won't even be a goodbye.
Yeah.
It'll be like Goodwill Hunting when Ben Affleck shows up to Matt Damon's door. It's going to be me and Brian walking into the podcast, and Dusty's just gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
I give it 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He'll climb out of that bunker
Well,
and be like, I got to talk to people.
I got to record another special. But after the special, I don't even know what jokes there'll be.
Yeah.
What jokes are even left?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, William. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. I just feel like he knows me. All right. Kevin Hayes. I want to be mayor, though. I think I'll be mayor of Opelika.
Oh my God.
That's what I'd
Well, I was
like
going to say
do.
McMinnville.
Yeah, I thought I might start in McMinnville,
Mhm.
and that way, if I kind of mess up, I'll learn some things and then take it to Opelika.
That's a great campaign ad.
I think
Yeah.
that little snippet right there is going to hurt your chances
Yeah,
of
yeah,
making
yeah.
it go. I want to be your mayor just to get all the kinks out, and then I'll be the mayor of a real
Nah,
city.
but I think I could do it though. I mean, what is to be? I think mayor to me seems just like a fun gig.
Yeah. Did you tell that to this guy who's done it for 20 years?
Yeah, he seems like a fun gig.
Just give out some keys to people.
You're not doing it for 20 years if it's like really grinding you down.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's
The
once you-
guy's only 45 years old. Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Hazel. Man, Brian won't let y'all talk about anything even remotely risque, even if it's clean. Kind of kills the humor sometimes.
I agree.
The only part I disagree with is his thing at the end where he says sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, as we all know, Brian dictates the culture and the content of this podcast.
Yeah. All right, Dusty, say something you'd like to say. I'll let it slide just this one time.
Well, it's got to come out on the fly.
It's got to be
Yeah.
organic, right?
Yeah.
He'll give you one pass today.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you guys cut me off. I was about to talk about being drunk as a comic, and then you're like, okay, next.
Oh, did we?
Oh, no, we've
So I
talked about
felt
being
it, yeah.
drunk all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think this episode's on alcohol. Is that the one?
Is it really?
Yeah. Okay.
That's why we're having you as a guest.
This is my first day clean. I love it.
Well, congratulations. On this episode, say whatever you want.
I'm kidding.
Just
Yeah,
for Kevin
let's get
Hazel.
wild. Logan Light. I like that name.
Hello.
You cannot
Cool
convince.
Sorry.
You cannot convince me otherwise. For most of the show, Aaron is just checking his email and nodding every now and then.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Next comment. I'm just kidding. I mean, I've definitely done that before.
For Logan Light, she's really coming in pretty heavy.
Just sending a
Yeah,
veil.
think this is
Logan's
she?
dark.
Yeah,
You think Logan's a woman?
I thought so.
Oh, I think that's a guy's name, right?
Yeah, I thought
You think so?
Yeah. You think a
Wolverine.
woman would have a roadhouse?
A roadhouse?
Logan's Roadhouse.
Freaking Wolverine.
I know
Yeah.
a girl named Logan.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I?
Maybe it's like Taylor. I don't know if you do or not.
I think you do.
I think so.
Yeah. You know Logan.
Now I don't know if that's her name.
Yeah. You don't even know Dustin's last name, so
Yeah. It's all right, though.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, buddy. I'm just going to call you Dustin.
It happens.
Bryn.
You ever had to bring up somebody on stage you forgot their name?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your go-to? Is there like a
Clubs and colleges, they give like 40 credits.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you're just hoping that
That's
you
why he
get it
doesn't
right.
go on the road with his girlfriend.
Yeah, that won't work. That is the worst. Have
I
you ever
just
had
did
somebody
it.
forget your name?
I did it here
Oh yeah, you did it here
on the
too?
Nateland Live hosting a few weeks ago.
Yeah, what'd you do?
I just decided to be honest. I mean, it was the first comic up. I went out and did a set,
Mm-hmm.
and then first comic up was somebody I'd never met before.
Man, this next comedian, one of my dear friends.
Her first
That's
name
always
finally
so funny.
came to me, and then I think maybe her friend in the audience yelled out her last name. I was like, "That's it.
There it is. Yeah.
Come on up."
I always write it on my hand just in case.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. You make a joke out of it too.
Yeah.
I love this guy so much. And
Well,
then-
that's as long as you get it, it's fine.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You should always write it if you're hosting.
Have you ever had your name forgotten being brought up?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like because I did a lot of kind of uptown rooms in New York, and they'd be like, "This next guy, he's wearing a cowboy hat, broke back guy." Give it, they'll just say some ridiculous insult
Mhm.
because they can't remember your name
Yeah.
or even.
Well, they got to
care.
put it on you.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you're just like up there following some horrible thing. They just
Yeah.
I just had it a couple weekends ago, St. Louis. I've done St. Louis a bunch of times since I started stand up. I've done the small room at the Helium a couple times. I'm back. Now I'm doing the big room, 2 shows.
Mm.
They're both basically sold out. So I'm thinking, oh my, this is like different, right? So I get in the green room. The first thing I hear is the sound guy go, "All right, who's ready to see Adam Weber?"
Jeez.
That just happens no matter. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I could not have. I mean, I basically sold out 2 shows, and I'm Adam Weber.
Yeah.
So it just happens.
Well, it's like you think, when you go through clubs for a while and you think, when I finally start selling these shows out,
then I'll
I'm
get
gonna-
some respect.
I'm going to do whatever I want. And, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get and then it just feels just exactly the same.
yeah, which is kind of good. It's good to stay humbled like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's kind of like doing this podcast and you didn't
Yeah.
know my name. Yeah.
I mean, I remember. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, I'm sure Miss Karaoke B is not happy.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Miss B, Karaoke B.
Miss
Yeah.
B.
So you got her name wrong.
Happens.
Just like
I got the karaoke part right.
Yeah.
that's how you handle
You just got to get
Yeah.
half of it right.
Happens.
Like I opened for Ari Spears a few times, and he would always
nice.
like smoke like half a cigarette in the green room right before he went up. And I always thought, when I'm selling out shows, I'm gonna smoke in the green room too.
Yeah.
And I just never do.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like. I still feel like I don't know. I see comics smoking cigars in the green room before the show, and I think they've sold it out. If I start selling it out, I can do whatever I want to do. But I still don't feel like I have that authority.
Good.
Now, a couple of clubs have allowed me to do it.
Mhm.
The Mothership, they let me smoke cigars
that's
in the
cool.
green room.
That's
Comedy
cool.
Works, Denver, not downtown, the Denver Comedy
South.
Works South, let me
Mhm.
smoke in the green room. Chicago Zanies let me smoke in the green room.
These are all
Yeah.
great clubs you're mentioning.
Yeah. And they, and so it's real cold in Chicago,
Yeah.
in Denver too, and they worked it out for me that I could.
Nice.
And then in outside of the Comedy Works in Denver, or outside of Austin, the Mothership, it is Mad Max in those streets.
It is. Yeah. 6th
remember-
Street.
Yeah.
I remember the first time, I've been doing comedy forever. You could, in New York, you could smoke on stage. And that was just, that was crazy.
love
And
that.
You
Yeah.
still technically can here, right?
I don't think so.
I think you can smoke on
If
stage.
you're Chappelle, maybe.
If it's and I saw Chappelle at the Ryman, he did smoke a bunch on stage, but I think you can because it's part of a performance.
I don't think you can.
I
do
think
it
you can.
at a
You
comedy
can
club.
technically do it at a comedy club.
Really, they would have to clear it, I guess. I'm sure.
I think if it's part of a performance, you can get away
Like-
with it.
Because the
don't think
spoken
they'd be happy,
plays.
No, nobody would be pumped about it.
No. Yeah, you got to be a pretty big name to be like packing
doing a
cigarettes.
6-minute spot on a showcase.
I'm gonna try it tonight on this show tonight. I'm gonna see what happens.
Are you
tell
friends-
me? Yeah.
Are you friends with Chappelle?
Friendly. Yeah. I was, back in the day. I mean, now
Because
he's
he used to be in
kind
your
of.
show a lot, right?
Not my show. I used to run the Boston Comedy
That's what I
Club.
mean.
Yeah. Well, it's not my show. It was a club. But yeah, it was like a.
But you booked it, right?
Yeah, I did for a little while. Yeah. It was
I like
It's
how
not
you-
crazy how he worded it.
I like how Brian keeps pushing it on you. No, this is your thing, okay? This is how we got you on the podcast. We sold it this way.
I mean, it's
You're best friends with Dave Chappelle.
I'm trying here,
Nate,
guys. I'm
yes, that's. I mean, Nate's a whole nother thing, but Chappelle, not so much, But yeah, I mean, I was there right before he went to Africa and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We hung out.
You're the one who
talked
pushed
about it.
him
I said,
over
you
the
gotta.
edge,
I go.
yeah.
You got to get out of here, man.
Go to Djibouti.
I've been to Djibouti. Go check it out.
Djibouti. Go to
Which part?
Djibouti.
Djibouti.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Bryn3669. I'm terrified to ever have a conversation with a professional comedian because if I've learned anything from watching/listening to tons of different comedy podcasts, it's that a comedian can find the insult in any compliment.
What does that mean?
Absolutely.
Oh my god! Get over yourself, Brent.
Yeah, jeez.
I think it's like
Nate?
after shows. I think people say
Yeah.
stuff like when my one that I hate is like tough crowd. Even when you got up there and just turned the show around.
Oh, yeah.
And pulled it out of them, and then they, that's the first thing they say to you. You didn't
Yeah.
see all that work I did.
Yeah.
It's like that bothers me. I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't seem that
yeah.
into it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I had a great show.
Yeah, I loved it.
I think that's what we were talking about. People
Yeah.
go, it's pretty funny or something like that.
Yeah.
Little things that annoy you.
They belittle it just enough that
That-
you're just like,
Objectively, we know are meant as compliments, but it's also fun to complain about stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But also
I think-
learn to compliment better.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Just fist pound, great job,
Yeah.
whatever.
Just
Really
every-
funny. I like that new stuff.
Every time,
It's
though,
easy.
that show was really good.
That's easy.
That's all we're looking
That's
for.
all you want.
Yeah, Brian.
I think Bryn 3669 is right on, or at least with me. I mean,
Yeah.
I can always find something, but I just did.
Because you're looking for it.
Yeah, you're pretty.
Yeah,
Well,
we all are.
I'm insecure, so
Yeah.
I'm expecting it. But I just did a show. I did an hour somewhere, and the lady came up to me afterwards. She said, "I remember once you got up there, I saw you open for Nate Bargatze and so and so, like one of the arena shows." And she said, "I really felt like you were funnier this time." And that really annoyed me. I was doing 8 minutes in an arena. I'm doing an hour on this show. Yeah, a little bit different circumstances. But I didn't take it as a compliment. I just took it as, did I bomb?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those
Show?
shows
Of
are
course.
impossible sometimes.
Yeah.
You should have
it's
said,
like,
you know
yeah.
what? I didn't see you at the arena show, and I like that better.
You're probably first too. People
Yeah.
are walking in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
easy for those shows
What does that mean? Just assume I'm first.
Yeah.
because it's tough. People are just trying to walk in.
You don't think he comes right before Nate? You don't think there's any comics before Brian?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always right before Nate. I don't know what you got worked out.
Why before Nate? Why couldn't I go after
I
him?
don't know. I gave the
Well,
kid
we all
stage
know
time. I'm like blindside. I'm his Sandra Bullock, so
Yeah.
I get the good spot.
Nate brings Brian out and they do bumping mics at the arena.
That'd be amazing.
All right. John Bungard.
Bungard.
Bungard. Yeah, that's better than Bungard.
It might be Bungard, but Bungard sounds
Bungard.
Yeah.
the Bungard
Bungard.
family.
Oh,
Bungard.
Bungard.
Come on, Bungard.
Y'all reference the Sandlot a lot. That's a lot to say.
Sandlot a lot.
Y'all reference the Sandlot a lot.
But if you do, you can't do. Y'all reference the Sandlot quite often.
yeah,
You got to do a lot.
Well, he actually y'all referenced the Sandlot movie a lot, and I took out the word movie because I felt like that's
Oh,
obvious.
God, well, that's your
Yes,
fault.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
guess it is.
It would have
I
flowed
guess
better.
it is.
Was that a necessary edit?
I thought at the
How
time it
pressed
was.
are we for time? You got to take 2 syllables away. That actually changed
Yeah.
the whole shape of
I'm
the
sorry,
sentence.
John Bungard.
You're right, Aaron. But at the time, I'm
Did
thinking
he even
about
put
Nate.
y'all in?
Nate's reading this, so I'm like, I gotta
Oh, right,
cut
right,
this down
right.
as much as possible.
Mm.
Y'all
So you
reference.
took out movie.
Movie.
I'm gonna go ahead and add it back in for John.
All right.
Y'all reference the Sandlot movie a lot.
Boom.
I love it as well. A little surprised no one has pointed out that you could easily be grown-ups of these characters. Nate is Benny. Okay. Brian Smalls, Aaron Hambino,
Jeez.
and Dusty is Squints. Love the pod. Well, maybe John, well, I'll take back the apology. And I only accept because Squints gets kind of the hot girl in the end. So I will accept
He
that.
does. He marries her and they have a ton of kids together
Yeah.
at the
Oh,
end.
wow.
Now,
Wendy
you know-
Peppercorn.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw Sandlot.
You never saw it, huh?
No, I'm over Bad News Bears.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Generation.
kind
It's like after that.
of,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
early 90s.
It was
that
early
came
nice,
out.
and you and I are
Yeah.
about the same age.
Yeah.
I'd seen bits and pieces, but I was on a
Yeah.
plane recently and
And you
thought
saw it.
I've never watched this all the way through, so I
It's
watched.
a fun movie.
It
isn't
is
it?
fun.
seems
Bad
fun,
News
yeah.
Bears is great too.
Oh, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would
good.
agree with this, except Nate being Benny. No,
Benny the Jet Rodriguez.
Well, it's just always like that's why we're not gonna make that reference because you're gonna go, oh, you mean the guy who became a professional?
yeah, the
baseball
hero.
player? Yeah.
He is
the
competitive.
guy who
like
always
that, though.
sported Smalls and said, "Hey, here
Yeah.
you go. Here's a glove. Here's a
And then
hat."
Aaron's Hambino. Why?
Why
I think
not?
we know why.
Yeah, that was right on.
I'm the only comedic relief of the shit now because he's the fat kid. But he steals that movie.
And he's still making content
you
now.
play ball like a girl.
He's actually funny on the
He's
internet
great.
now.
I know who
really
that
good.
is, yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Caleb Party.
My dad used to say, "Be like Benny." He used to say that to me and my brothers. Be
He
like
was a-
Benny.
Yeah, he was a cool kid.
And you didn't listen.
Not it, and how he lifted up everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Because
So you didn't listen.
because there's the kid that's kind of the outcast, right? And he's the nerd, and the other kids aren't accepting. And Benny, the leader of the group, goes, "No, y'all accept him," and brings him in.
Hmm.
And I think that there's a lot to take out of that.
And
Yeah.
another thing that makes me like Squints
Mhm.
is that he pretends to drown. I never would drown in real life. I would have to pretend because I'm such a good swimmer. Everybody knows that.
Really?
Yeah.
Never had a current situation like
No.
something that just.
No. I can handle current. Current fears me.
Even at a young age,
Even
great
at
swimmer.
a young age, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I almost drowned once, a lake
you?
or something. Yeah, just I forget what happened. Just they pulled me out. Pretty rough. Yeah. So
Drinking days.
yeah, I was 9. Yeah. Just got some of that whiskey went for a dip. Yeah, it is. We all
I
been
know
there.
how it
Right,
We all
right,
been
right.
there.
Yeah.
All right. Caleb Party.
That's nice.
That is nice. That's like party, but you're like party.
Yeah.
A little
gotta-
fancier.
Party.
Could be
Yeah.
partay.
Party.
I like a little partay.
I don't know. Brian could have edited the name. Who knows?
That's right. It actually was Caleb Partay movie, and then he took that out.
I felt like in the 90s or 2000s, it was a lot of big time comedians in big venues commanding the attention. But now it seems you can find a lot of smaller / up and coming comedians in small venues through short videos. Do you think comedy has become bigger over the past 10 years? Or do you think it's just being circulated on social media more and thus seeming more popular to a casual fan?
I'm curious your thoughts on that, Dustin.
Well,
Dustin.
Right. I thought
You got to the end. You got to
I
throw the
shoulda-
end in
I
there.
should have known. He wasn't
Throw the
coming
in.
today.
Yeah,
I mean, it's Dave Chappelle's best friend.
that's
Of course
yes,
I'm
my
gonna
best
ask him.
buddy. Let me call Dave. Hold on.
Davey!
About this.
You started Facebook, right?
I did. MySpace. We were the MySpace generation.
Tom?
Yeah, Tom was good. But I remember that. Remember when like Dane Cook was just like the first person to really like explode with the internet.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
So watching that changed everything. I
Yeah.
think that's when, because it used to be just a handful of guys, as far as like guys that could sell out.
Yeah.
It was just like the Chappelles and the Chris Rocks and the Chappelle, my buddy. And then it just then it became more about guys like Dane Cook that could just market it and call it. He was hitting all those colleges, and then he was
Yeah.
the first one that really emphasized the meet and greet. And that was a big deal. Like I remember when he was talking about meet and greets, he's like, you got to talk to them after, you got to get their emails, you got to, so I feel like comedy changed just from that. But, but yeah, I think it's as big as it was. I think, I still think there's only like 12 guys that are like really selling out crazy venues.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know.
I think it's bigger.
happened.
I think it's bigger now, but I think it's because more people can see it because of the internet. I don't know, but I just think there's, it's like,
Caleb said.
There's no Carlin, though. There's
Wait,
no
like-
just
like here's an example
thing.
though. Like I was in Grand Rapids, right?
Yeah.
And Nate, I was at the comedy club, Dr. Gren's.
Okay.
I sold out all of my shows.
Yeah.
But then across the street on a Saturday night, Nate also sold out an arena at the same time. So it wasn't like he sold out the arena and then there were no people left to buy tickets to my show.
I got you.
My show was still sold out. So it's like, it just shows that, there's a lot. I've been to multiple cities where that's the case. There'll be a bigger comic than me selling out, yet I'm still selling out my shows, even at theaters.
Yeah, but in the 90s though, I mean, there was the late 80s and the 90s. There was lines around the corner on a Monday.
But how many arena acts were there in the 90s of comedians?
Well, it was Kinnison, it was Dice.
Kinnison was an arena act.
Yeah, towards the end he was absolutely. Yeah,
Kinnison, Dice. That's two.
Steve Martin was the ultimate of all time. Like he sold out at the Astrodome, and he had a funny joke too. He's like, "How many people have cats?" He's like, "Okay, 7." And then he's like,
so if Steve Martin were at an arena in the town, though, you think Bobcat Goldthwait's still selling out the club down the street?
I think so. If Police Academy 4 had just come out, absolutely.
Maybe that's a bad pull.
But you have a good presence. And so you're going to sell. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's ebb and flow. I don't think, but I don't know if there's like the biggest comic, like a Carlin and Pryor and all that stuff. I feel like some of that's missing.
Yeah.
Because the biggest comic now is Nate. And you're basically saying he doesn't really say anything.
Yeah. Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah.
You're basically saying your friend Nate is
not
any of that. Smart enough to impact the culture in a meaningful way.
Which we agree
with. Is that
with
what
you.
you're saying?
Agree with you.
You try to get all my dates eliminated.
Crazy, dude.
Call Chappelle.
I don't know.
No, but I do agree that that it's so watered down with social media that everybody has an opportunity to have a voice. That, I mean, you don't have the cultural icons like you used to have, because an HBO special was a huge deal that not everybody was getting. And now there's...
Well, Nate is like, he's the biggest of the family comic, where it's just like, that's what I was talking to people. I said, you look out in that audience and there's like the Nana and the kids, and like nobody's doing that. And that's, that's the beauty of what he's doing, where it's like, you're not taking your kids to Chappelle or Bill Burr or anything like that. So I think that is the phenomenon of him.
I mean, if you're a fun parent, you are.
I bet Kevin Hazel is.
Yeah.
Were you taken anywhere as a young, like a concert or anything as a child?
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing Toby Keith at Opryland.
How old were you?
We were all, 9 or 10.
His mom was a Toby Keith fan club.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
She wasn't.
My mom took me to Zeppelin when I was 7.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I went to stuff, I went to a few things.
We get it. Your mom's cooler.
Yeah.
She was cool, yeah.
I went to a lot of NASCAR races and football games. That was more our thing.
That's why you got keys to the city in Alabama.
Exactly. All right, Joe, I think we all agree on what our debate.
I mean, there's not really, it's not a debate as much as it's just, certain things change and certain things don't. But I think,
I said to you off the podcast, but I want to publicly compliment your jacket here.
Oh,
your
thanks,
shirt.
buddy.
It's a good shirt.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's a good shirt.
You know what we all need to get more of? Say it with me. Get off of our butts and get into some action. And it's fun to do that with Mountain Dew. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew will get you off the sofa and have you feeling like you're charging up the side of a mountain where the weather's perfect, your friends are ready to hang out, and a full day of epic games are happening. Can you imagine? I certainly can. Check out all these flavors. You know them. Original, Baja Blast, Code Red, Voltage. Pick one and enjoy it. My personal favorite's the Baja Blast. And I remember a time back in the day where you can only get that at Taco Bell. Not anymore. Get it in a can wherever Mountain Dews are sold. Nate's always playing golf. I play golf a little bit. I'm not as good as him, but I can hang out. You know what I mean? I can sit in the cart and make a comment every now and then.
And drink Mountain Dew.
And drink Mountain Dew. That's what playing golf, that's what hanging out's all about right there. However I play, it doesn't matter, because I get to drink a delicious Mountain Dew while I'm out on the course. The mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends. Grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do.
Joe Brock just surprised my wife with tickets to Dusty's show when he comes to Salt Lake City in February. The only problem is she's pregnant and the baby is due the next day. I hear when you have a baby at Disneyland, that they get a lifetime pass to the parks. If we have a baby at Dusty's show, does he have a similar policy? Yeah. And the baby's due the next day, so no big deal. Just come on out, and the baby will come the next day. But if you do have a baby at the show, I will give you some free tickets in the future.
How about merch? A little merch?
Give the dad a cigar.
Vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to keep it vague because, I don't want to make some big promise and then legally it gets pulled up.
Right. I will give you 2 tickets to the late show of my
No,
special
no.
recording.
If
Chattanooga.
if the baby comes and we have the ambulance comes and we have to deliver that baby in that show,
Yeah.
this family, these 2 people and their baby, free tickets for life.
Are you going to help out if that happens? Are you going to get in
I'm
there?
going to stay up on stage and do commentary. I'm going
Push,
to go, yes, push, breathe, push.
Get some sheets.
I'm going to do that.
Now, is that
And
true that if you have a baby at Disneyland, they give you a lifetime pass?
It can't be true.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's happened.
That's like when they say if your roommate dies in college, you get straight A's. It's like have you ever heard that?
No.
You never heard that?
I've heard that.
I have heard
Yeah,
that. I
I've
forgot
heard
about
Yeah,
that.
it's like I don't think that's true, but it's
It's a good way to
I
get
think
a...
some schools like Ivy League. Or
I don't know what happened to him. I know I'm pretty sad about it.
I know my GPA turned around. I saw this over the weekend. Did you know Disneyland, LA, is in it? Land. That's the one in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Disney World. That
Yes.
has ORL. That's Orlando. Did
I
you
had
know
not-
that?
I did not know that. I
No.
like that, but I did not know that.
Yeah, I love it.
Never thought about it.
Yeah, I never thought about it either, but it's pretty crazy.
It is pretty cool.
I'll never mix it up again in my head because I talk about Disney a lot.
I never mixed it up because this is how I remembered it.
Uh-huh.
Because being from the South, I always felt like it was a bigger deal that Disney World was in the South and Disneyland was in California.
Yeah,
Which is so
we're
funny.
the bigger one.
Orlando,
Yeah.
barely the South, but yeah, you get it.
It's totally the South, but I get
Well,
it.
Orlando.
You guys keep wanting to
Orlando's
make
He wasn't
things-
even here for that debate.
You guys
with
keep
Dustin.
wanting to
He
not
says
make-
Miami's the South.
You guys keep wanting to make things not the South just because it's not redneck.
Okay.
Florida's pretty.
I didn't mean to upset you
Yeah.
guys.
No.
Orlando's pretty
that's just
redneck.
yeah.
Because you said Canada's the South, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess,
Calgary
yeah.
is. And
Yeah, I
Edmonton.
feel like once you get so far north, you're back to the South again.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because it goes over the world.
Yeah.
So
But
just
you-
geographically.
You don't think Orlando? You don't think it's like Southern,
I don't.
but you do.
I do.
I
I,
haven't spent
think
it-
Florida has that sensibility for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And what
I think
is
the top
Southern?
half of
You know
Florida.
what I mean?
Orlando's close. The top half of Florida, I consider the South. Orlando's
What's the bottom half?
New York.
Well, Orlando has a Nashville vibe in the sense of tourist and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Miami,
cancels it out.
Little Havana. I mean, it's a real. We're doing cigars and sandwiches and a lot of
Right.
food and music.
Pork
I mean,
and-
that's,
yeah.
just like Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah.
dancing with your shoes off. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Aaron. Okay. I was reading it like it was to you.
Yeah.
This guy's name.
This guy's name is Aaron.
You're telling me Dustin isn't Coach Beard from Ted Lasso?
There it is.
He's
You
the
ever get
funniest
that?
guy. I don't. That guy's a comic, right?
I've
don't know.
never
Yeah.
seen the show.
You never seen the show? Wow, that's right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would think. I don't know.
I don't watch any shows.
Oh, you don't? Not one show. You've never binged a show like 4 episodes, 4
Cobra Kai.
seasons.
Cobra Kai, I binged.
That's
a
your
little
thing?
bit.
That's your
Yeah,
thing?
Well,
Okay. Oh,
it
that's
was the nostalgia of it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love.
Oh, that Coach Beard. Oh, I was thinking it was the other guy. Okay, the younger, better looking guy. So, but it was that guy, the funny one.
When people tell you you look like someone,
It's
it's,
never-
never,
it's
never the person you want.
Never
to
the
be.
guy you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do all the exercising
Yeah.
you want, but you're still the Hambino in here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What do you? He's all right. He's funny too.
Brian,
Oh, you skipped one.
Zach and Laura Nelson, couples YouTube account. People have said Dusty looks a lot like Hardy, and we could see it a little bit. However, we thought the funniest thing is if you would imagine Dave Grohl dressed up as undercover boss, that nails Dusty perfectly.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see that.
Dave Roll in disguise.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard them both before. I definitely don't think I look like Hardy. I just think we have a similar aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
My mustache is more like Dave Grohl's. We do have more of a similar facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
But but
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of either of them, to be honest with you. I'm just good. I mean, their looks are fun, but I mean, I don't like.
They look good, but
Dave Grohl's got a couple of songs I like, but overall, not a fan.
No, I'm not into it either.
all right.
Okay.
Brian Keenely, Canalia. What do you think it is?
Kinley.
Kinley?
Kinley.
Brian Kennelly. You got to say it fast.
Yeah, real fast.
Dustin looks like a police sketch artist tried to draw Nate based on poor eyewitness description.
Man, you guys give these fans a lot of airtime, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like
I know.
Liberties,
It is a mistake.
It is a lot. Some people say that I guess we could be related, sometimes. I think
You're two good-looking guys.
Well, I mean, you
don't have
there's
big-
definitely that.
You don't have big, dumb eyes, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There.
Oh,
That's all you got to do. Yeah. I think we're just like the pain of New York probably made us look alike.
you've been through some
Of
cold
New York comedy.
winters together.
New
How they
York
say couples
comedy
start looking
scene.
alike?
Yeah.
Going through New York.
Yeah. You just live in New York for so long. You just got it. You just have that same tortured look.
Mm-hmm.
John Traley. No, I added an L in there. John Trahey.
Where'd the L come from?
I don't know.
I thought there might be an L around it, but there's not. I don't think there's an L on this page.
Not even close by it. I don't think there's been a good country song since the 1970s. Even George Jones said they're going to have to call that something else. Well, this guy must be very old. John.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
because
he's
I'm
very old.
gonna disagree real hard.
You would say
on
the
it.
90s, right?
Yeah, Brian's. Dusty says at
Nah,
least 85.
I mean, there's still good country songs. I just think
yeah.
popular country music is not really country
I
anymore.
mean, even the Urban Cowboy soundtrack is great.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
great.
It's such good stuff on there.
Well, that's our segue in today's topic is music, mostly
Music.
All
mostly rock music,
right.
but we'll talk about some country.
Okay.
Dustin,
Yes.
you had a podcast, Dustin's
did.
Vinyls,
Yeah.
and I listened to it. It's
I
great.
think you were the one. You were the one. You and Miss B karaoke. Couldn't get anybody to listen to that thing. You told me today. You're like, I was like, wow, thanks.
Yeah,
Where
I mean-
were you? I needed you about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I apologize, but
all right.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
How many vinyl records do you own?
I don't know how many, but I have a wall,
Ballpark it.
I guess, of vinyl.
How often do you rearrange them?
Not that all. I don't do alphabetized because there's no way I could do that. I
Mm-hmm.
just do sections like rock, jazz, country, that kind of thing, and I like just not knowing what's in there because I forget what I buy.
Yeah.
And so I love just going, all right, let me get some jazz, and I forgot I bought this in Indiana when I did that gig or whatever. But I was telling him that's what I love about collecting vinyl is like when you're on the road because it's like you can always kind of count on a record store. Most towns have them,
Yeah.
especially if they have a college or something. And so that's a fun thing to kind of like just go in and meet those guys at the record store and that kind of thing.
My two favorite cities that I've been to with the record, I had Omaha, Nebraska, had a really great
really?
section of town with
Nice.
a couple of really big record stores. Super fun. And Springfield, Missouri has a couple of cool record stores.
Oh, all right. Yeah, Springfield's pretty cool. I think
I don't do it a lot, but I bought quite a bit of vinyl. I like the way a vinyl feels.
Yes.
The thing. I like the way it
Yes.
looks. I
Like
like
the
the
insert,
way it
like
smells.
the insert, the lyrics.
But when it comes to playing it, I honestly would rather. I mean, I'm changing it I'm flipping it every 30 minutes. I'd rather go just put a playlist on.
I don't know. I kind of like that. I like just you get because you got to stand. I mean, my iWatches always tell me to stand up.
Yeah.
That's true. So I like the flipping it over. It's that nostalgia,
Yeah.
and hearing the crackle.
Yeah.
I love that.
The
like
crackle's
an old
fun.
record. Yeah.
I heard you say that record stores usually know what they have,
Okay.
but antique stores, sometimes you'll go in there and they don't realize what they got, and you'll find some great deals.
It's changed a little bit because vinyl's more popular. But yeah, if you find those antique places on the side of the road, sometimes they'll just have a crate in the corner and you'll just get some. I've got some good Beatles and things like that. They had no idea that was even in there or how much these things are worth. So yeah, if you're looking for that kind of stuff, I think the antique places are like a Goodwill.
Yeah.
Sometimes like a Salvation Army. That's where you're going to get the good stuff.
Now, let me ask you, you've lived in New York, LA,
Yes.
Chile,
Yes.
country music. Do people respect it? Do they like it?
I don't care. I like it. I'm more. I do love 70s. Country music. I think that's probably.
Outlaw country?
I think outlaw country, Chris Christopherson, Johnny Whalen, that kind of stuff. I feel like that's probably the peak, but I think there's some good. I like Dwight Yoakam a lot. I think there's a lot of stuff that happened after that that's still good, but I don't know if there's a question about country music. But.
Well, I just mean, does the LA, do people out there like country music? I think I know the answer.
I think so. I saw Charlie Crockett out there, the Greek. I don't know if you know Charlie Crockett.
Yeah, a lot of people in LA. Yeah, California has a lot of good country, a lot of California country.
Well, Bakersfield.
It's very southern, to be honest with you. It feels southern in Bakersfield.
Merle Haggard was out of California.
Buck Owens, Bakersfield.
Yeah, Jesse Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
All California country.
What's Jesse Daniel sing?
Well, he has a really good song called "Working Hard Both Day and Night."
Where could I hear that?
Featured on the special "Working Man" by Dusty Slade you can find on Netflix.
So, did you have a favorite band growing up?
Favorite band? What point in my life? High school. It was actually the Cult. I don't know if you guys know that band, but that was like
heard of them.
Yeah,
it's like a Native American kind of rock vibe English band. It was just like. Then mom introduced me to Zeppelin, was pretty cool. So I think, my parents had good, record collection. So it was like, it was either like Cheech and Chong or it was just like, Blood, Sweat and Tears and Doobie Brothers and like all that kind of stuff.
Blood, Sweat and Tears got some great stuff.
Yeah, it's good. Three Dog Night.
Like you do kind of listen to just what your parents listen to, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, it's just kind of passed down there.
Yeah, it's like you're influenced by, or like brothers, or usually I had a big brother that was into good music and stuff.
When I grew up, it was the era of my brother was starting to LimeWire. He was like getting his own music, right? So it was kind of like rebellious, the music that we would listen to. We'd listen to it with headphones on.
What was your rebellious music?
Limp Bizkit, that kind of stuff.
He's still out there, man. Still doing it.
Oh, they're crushing it, dude. Yeah.
I mean, late 90s, I love me some Limp Bizkit, man. Gosh,
but I think you need an influence.
I still want to hang out with Fred Durst a little bit.
Because if you don't have an influence, it's like sometimes I think you make bad choices. Because I remember when I was on my own thinking about music, it was like Twisted Sister or something, just because the videos were all on. So that was, my wall was covered in Twisted Sister. So that was like, just because nobody was saying that's not great music.
How old are you?
His age?
We're about the same age.
Okay. The same age.
Yeah.
75?
83 this winter. God, it's a rough show.
I love Twisted Sister.
Nobody knows your last name. They call out your age.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Twisted Sister was fun when we were kids.
That band should have been a great band. Like their
They had-
first You Can't Stop Rock and Roll.
Gonna take
That's
it.
it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Stay Hungry.
No, we ain't gonna take it.
That's a great song, but it's like You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, which was their first album. But they were kind of closer to Metalhead.
What about
Motorhead,
what about that? There was one with a Sam Kinison video. Sam Kinison was in the video.
There was one.
Oh,
you
Wild
stand
Thing.
up and tell the rest of the class,
Wild Thing?
I want to rock.
I don't think that was Kinnison. That was just them. That was Twisted Sister.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was in
Kinnison
the
did.
video, though.
Well, he did the video was Wild Thing. I think that was his,
Tone Loc?
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was just like You Make My Heart Scream, Wild Thing. It was like a 50s
Wow,
cover.
Oh, yeah.
Wild
yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, from Major League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You
make my heart sing.
What
You
were
make
they?
everything.
What were they not taking?
Groovy.
What?
We're not going to take it.
We're not going to take it. Yeah.
Take
Nothing.
what?
Society.
We're not
Just in
gonna.
general?
Yeah,
I don't
well, the
know.
whole
There's
if you,
BS out
the
there.
video's dad is like a military dad, and he's like on him because he wants to be a rock star, and he's
Oh,
just
okay.
like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like,
Yeah,
I think that's the vibe to it,
Okay.
right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I didn't know it was about something in particular.
Now it's about like GMOs. That's the new rebellion now. I don't want any poison in my food. We're not gonna take it.
Food dye.
Yeah.
Seed oils. Yeah.
Exactly.
Fine sugar.
So, Dusty, Southern Rock was maybe kind of the highlights was past before you even got into it. Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
Did you like them?
Oh yeah.
Did you like Southern Rock?
I was
of course.
actually people hate this about me, but I do like the Allman Brothers, but I'm not as big a fan of them.
Allman Brothers are amazing.
They are very good,
Yeah.
but it's just not as much my style as say Leonard Skinner is.
People hate you for that.
Yeah, Allman Brothers are a little more of a jam band.
Well, they're the Southern Beatles. We've always said they're the most talented of all.
I mean,
those
I
bands.
love some Dwayne Allman. Dwayne Allman's got a lot of stuff that I really love. He did Derek and the Dominoes with Eric Clapton, which I love that album. Big fan of that.
Yeah. I got to meet Derek Trucks. That was a pretty big deal.
Oh yeah,
It's like he was because he was like 6. I think his uncle was the drummer for Allman Brothers, and then I saw him. He was like 16 and at the Beacon, and he filled in as the guitarist for the Allman Brothers.
So great.
I saw him. I talked to him. It was great to talk to him about that. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, there's videos of him. I think 11 or 12 or something playing with him.
Crazy how good he is.
Unbelievable.
Like a kid. Yeah, it's so nuts.
Yeah, there's a Dwayne Allman album that I have. I guess it's just a greatest hits, but he has a.
Do you have the Greg Allman and Cher album? That's a great album.
Oh, I don't have that. But he has
It's not a great album.
He has a.
You should pull it up though. It's pretty great.
A Hey Jude cover.
Mm-hmm.
With I think Wilson Pickett maybe is singing. It's really good. And
this is a wild album cover.
Whoa,
Greg Allman. It's called Allman and Woman.
I have this album. I own this album.
The hard way. I'm
fantastically bad.
They're kind of pretzeled around each other in this.
Well, they dated.
Confusing
They
way.
dated.
I imagine
They dated
involved.
for a little while.
is this in between? Where's Sonny in all this?
I don't know.
They probably divorced.
Oh yeah. Definitely divorced. Yeah,
Okay.
at that point, because this is late. Like
you-
she was
you
with
think
him when she
these
was
guys
younger.
You think these guys are hooking up here?
I think so, just a little bit. But then they decided to do this album together, and just because you're together doesn't mean you should do this. But
Right.
it's pretty bad and great at the
Is
same
it
time.
not a good album?
It's I always say a lot of the '80s stuff. It's pretty kind of intoxicated. There's a lot going on. Some of the choices made weren't the best choices. The movies.
Can you imagine
music.
they're looking through the photo? They've done a photo shoot.
Yeah.
And they're looking through, and they go, "I think that's the one."
This picture seems photoshopped of him.
I mean,
It
I don't think
does
they
look-
had that back then.
Yeah.
No, I mean, must be a real photo.
I think it's a real. They had a fan. There's a fan involved.
Cher's hot in this.
or he's
Cher-
falling.
Cher was
He's
beautiful.
like,
Cher
what
was
if-
beautiful.
Yeah.
man.
Let's just
like when she was
take
young.
one and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
Guys, we're playing around now. We've got what we need. Let's just try this one.
Yeah, let's do a silly one.
Yeah.
I'm into Cher. I didn't realize I was into Cher.
Oh yeah, put
Yeah,
some
she's
young
hot.
Cher.
Yeah.
Forget it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this
she's
is
hot.
probably like your age Cher right now. She's probably what are you under 40?
42.
Okay, she's probably like 42 there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you're attracted to
But
her.
this is the Dwayne Allman, the anthology, also has Aretha Franklin singing The Weight.
Mm-hmm.
Really
the band.
Okay.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah.
Dwayne Allman, love that guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Allman Brothers are fun.
yeah.
But I like Leonard Skinner. I think that's, there's something about it that just, kind of sticks out of all that stuff.
yeah, I mean, the first 6 albums, really great.
Yeah.
And
people start
first
dying.
6.
yeah. But because I only listened to greatest hits when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
So I went back later, and when I was working the road, I bought all those albums, and I just was driving forever. I didn't have a plug-in for anything on my car. I just had a CD player.
Mhm.
I'm driving all over the country, and it's like you really dig in. It's like it's really great stuff. Every song is great.
I think I've said this before on here, but they're one of the few bands that has, I think, 2 signature songs. Freebird and Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah.
that
Those
you
are pretty signature, sure.
So associate.
But Simple Man,
I'm not saying
Simple
that's only
Man's
2 good
great,
songs.
yeah.
I'm just saying everyone knows those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Freebird is, it's kind of like their stairway to heaven. I mean, it's just such a beautiful.
You think about if they came back and did one concert, it's like, what's the encore song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Freebird, probably. But but I think of the 2 of them.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
hard to
open Sweet
follow.
Home.
It's hard to, you have jokes like that where you do your closer too early.
Uh-huh.
And then you're like, oh, yeah, I got 9 minutes left.
now you're pulling out an open mic
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
Or there's some guy's sweater,
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm selling my merch again. Once again,
So I got this merch.
You do a second merch pitch.
for less money this time.
I don't know if that's ever been done. You go back and do another merch.
Oh, I've seen guys do it for like 9 minutes. You're like, wow, stop.
Brian's making up testimonies.
I've done it all. I have done it all.
But yeah, I think it's hard to follow Freebird. It's like that's the one that
I looked up the top Southern rock, and this is just some website ranking
Sure.
of all time, and Freebird was one.
Yeah.
There were Allman Brothers and Leonard Skinner kind of dominated the top 10.
Okay.
There was a few in there. Marshall Tucker Band had some.
Yeah.
Can't you see?
Yep.
Can't you see?
Bob Seger had some.
Bob Seger, man, that's talk about Silver Bullet Band.
Bob Seger is so great. I wouldn't
So
say
great.
Southern rock. I would just say rock. But
Just, well, he's Detroit.
But
I mean,
Bob Seger,
shout out
unbelievable.
Detroit. Yeah, it's good
Unbelievable. He has an album called Beautiful Loser, which I don't think there's any of his greatest hits off that album. And I love it. The
I
whole
think I
album
own it.
is
Yeah,
great.
I think I have that one.
Yeah.
Charlie Daniels kind of could be both, right? Country and Southern rock.
Yeah, I think so. I
I
don't think
saw
he
him
was
play
even,
once. Yeah.
I don't think he was even really considered that country for a while.
Yeah.
Well, he was a guitarist, and then he played with Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
I think he did some stuff with Bob Dylan, and then when he picked up the fiddle, forget it. That's when he blew up.
Huh.
But he was kind of like I guess, kind of like Glenn Campbell as well. It's a studio musician or whatever.
Charlie Daniels has a great song called Reflections, where he's talking about Elvis and Janis Joplin and Ronnie Van Zant all dying and singing about it. And dang, it's a good song.
Yeah, Charlie's great.
Did you ever see Elvis?
No, I'm not that old. We're not that old.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I didn't think you did, but you're Elvis fan, right?
I'm Sun Records Elvis fan. I'm not like All Right Mama, all that like maybe that first record. And then I feel like he's a guy that they just put in the wrong direction.
Sun Records.
They put in the wrong direction, man. I really feel he could have been just an amazing, that they just kept it more rockabilly and just kind of true to kind of what his voice and not all that other stuff. Once he started making movies, forget it. I mean, I like the late Elvis. Some of that music's kind of fun.
I've never heard anyone actually like Elvis's music. People talk about I think people like Elvis as the phenomenon that he is, but nobody's ever been in the car.
I like some
I've
Elvis
never
music.
heard let's put on some Elvis.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I like
But I
Suspicious
do-
Minds.
Yeah,
but I
that's
like
a
it
good-
better when Dwight Yoakam sings it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You ever been riding around? Let me put on the.
Never.
Pass me the aux cord. You go, what is this?
But I have put Elvis on some playlists in the past. I do like
that
Elvis.
stuff ages so. That
but
stuff
it
sounds.
is-
I just like his movies.
Probably the
that stuff
best.
ages
Probably the
horrible.
best Christmas album is
Well, there you
Elvis
go.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
Christmas?
lonely tonight? You know that one?
Yeah.
Are you lonely? I don't know. I don't remember.
I heard you.
Burning Love, Hunka Burning Love. I love that one.
I heard you say
Men in
though
Black.
at concerts. And we've
Yeah.
talked about it on here recently. Concerts. You went to see Creed.
Yeah.
And he
And
did
you're
his
making fun of Elvis.
Yeah, Creed rules. I'm not making fun of Elvis. I don't think people listen to
I know
his
what you're
music.
saying. I know what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I'm kidding.
yeah.
But we were talking about banter in between.
Oh yeah.
And you said
yeah.
Elvis was the best at the banter.
Well, yeah. I mean, Frank Sinatra, really funny. Sinatra has live at the Sands, and about probably 20 minutes, he just does a set, and he's just ripping on the casino, and he's ripping on like all of the pack and everything. It's really funny. But Elvis was funny because he was just kind of banged up towards the end there.
Yeah.
So he would start an Elvis, like a Beatles song, and then just forget the words. And be like, I don't know these words. Or y'all just sing it with me, And then he would just like, But yeah, he was funny in between songs. The late stuff is really good.
What about Joe Cocker? You ever listen to the that first album, Joe Cocker? I love it. It's and they had one with Leon Russell. It's a live
I
album.
hadn't seen it.
Really great stuff.
I remember
no
John-
Joe Cocker fans
Did he
in here?
die young?
John
right?
Belushi did the great Joe
I don't
Cocker.
think he did.
Okay.
Joe Cocker it seemed like he had the first record that came out, which was really great. And then they wanted him to immediately tour, and he didn't want to do it. And Leon Russell was like, I'll do everything. You just come and tour with me. And I think Joe Cocker just got on that tour, did a lot of drugs, just got run down. And I think he just kind of exited music for a while.
Yeah.
He died at age 70. So
See, I know
Pretty young.
up where we belong.
It's not young.
But that first album, with a little help from my friends,
feeling all
It's me and
Yeah.
Brian's age.
Yeah.
That's not young.
Great.
Feeling All Right is great.
Great song.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and that album, they had an album
Love
together, a
Lifting
live
Sun.
album. I love Leon Russell. I'm a big Leon Russell fan. His stuff is great.
Our next sponsor, we love Delete Me. As you know, we've been using Delete Me for a while now, but recently Nate and myself gifted this to our family members. I know Nate's parents and his siblings recently received it as a gift. We've spoken about how much your personal data is out there for everybody to see. And we have all kinds of horror stories of stuff getting out there. You don't want it. Privacy is very important. Your name, contact info, social security number, home address, just keeps going. It's not just us as public figures. It's everybody. Privacy matters, and that's why we've decided to give the gift of privacy this year. It's the perfect gift. Nate's dad was telling me about it and how excited he was to get that ball rolling. I personally recommend and choose to use Delete Me. It's a subscription service that removes your personal info from hundreds of data brokers that make a profit off of your data. Your data is a commodity. Anybody on the web can buy your private details. It's kind of scary when you think about it, but not with me. I got Delete Me. Sign up and provide Delete Me with exactly what information you want deleted. They will crawl through the internet, wipe that stuff away. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me, now at a special discount for our listeners and their loved ones. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Nate and use promo code Nate at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Nate and enter code Nate at checkout. One more time, that's joindeleteme.com/Nate, code Nate.
I tried to buy some of Aaron's data today online, matter of fact. Couldn't find it because he's been using Delete Me.
Yeah, or you can just answer my phone calls.
Yeah.
Well, you Eagles fan?
Yeah. I mean, have you seen that documentary? That's fantastic on Netflix. That's
the two-parter, right?
Yeah, you see the dynamics.
It's about the reunion and everything.
Yeah, everybody was really talented in that band, but I think I get Eagles'd out. Like I'll do the greatest hits, and then I can't do it for another couple of years. You know what I mean? Like I can't listen to an Eagles song all the time. But there's some great great albums for sure. But
we brought up this might have been before you joined the podcast, Dusty. Hotel California, and people wrote in like 4 different explanations what that song's about.
I always thought it was about hell.
Hotel
right?
California.
There's a conspiracy theory that on the cover he's there with the president of the satanic organization or whatever, but they say it's not true.
I mean, they were all kind of satanic back then.
It's like, they kind of were.
They were. It was like Zeppelin, had those weird like symbols and stuff. And then like they were, I think, who's the guy? Sammy Davis Jr. or whatever. He was like a Satan guy.
Eddie Murphy talked about Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah.
Like a Satanist.
Yeah.
Like, there was this weird, just a weird type, drugs, too many drugs, I think, part of it. And then just, people just kind of getting into weird stuff, a lot of mystical stuff.
Yeah, it was just countercultural too.
Yeah,
at that
just,
time.
But
so
I've
never
never heard
Hotel
anything.
California is talking about True by Hilton.
Love those, by the way.
A lot of demonic
Great
stuff going on
breakfast.
in there.
Great free breakfast.
You guys are all big music fans. I'm really not. Do you consider the greatest guitarist or some of the greatest guitarists of all time?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many people. It's all the classic people that everybody says.
I mean, here's who I always hear: Jimi Hendrix.
every list.
Let's do ones you don't hear. I'm going to
it's
go
like-
Junior Brown.
Oh yeah, Junior
I'm
Brown.
gonna say Junior Brown is
Highway Patrol.
Yeah. That's a guy you're not going to hear
I don't
in
know who
these
that is.
conversations.
Yeah.
He's fantastic, and he has.
Yeah, he does
built
a steel guitar.
He built his own guitar. It's like
Yeah.
it's part steel and part electric, and it's pretty great. But he's like a rockabilly guy, but really great stuff, like surf rock, which I love surf rock. Dick Dale.
It's like I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Dick Dale.
Who's like the greatest, right? It's like you know it when you hear people play that you're like, wow, this is really great.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's like you can never have a list where Jimi Hendrix is not number one, right? But he's like, he's great.
I think
Obviously.
Eddie was the fastest.
Eddie Van Halen.
I think he was the
and then,
fastest.
Dwayne Allman's really great. Eric
Yeah.
Clapton's great. I mean, those guys are.
Who's the guy from Queen? Brian May. Is that?
Mhm.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
guy's great.
What about
Stevie Ray Vaughan has to be in this conversation.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
what about I can't believe his name's escaping me, from Guns N' Roses.
Slash is great.
Slash.
Yeah, I just saw Guns N' Roses probably about 4 months ago, and it's funny because Axl's, God bless him, he was doing everything he could, he was really trying, man.
Yeah,
and he was,
yeah.
you know, his voice just, I mean, I saw him in the 80s and it was just like his voice was cracking live because you just can't do that all the time.
Yeah,
You do
yeah.
that night. I mean, that's the thing about comics. Like we're not screaming like that.
Right.
So he, you know, he was pretty rough, and then they just kept bringing out Slash to make up for, you know, Axl not being able to sing that great.
Mhm.
And so he just did, you know, probably the extra 2 hours of just Slash. He's just he's playing like just all this blues stuff, and he was amazing.
Well, you know, that's what they said about Freebird, right? That's why Freebird started to become so long, because it was a way to give Ronnie Van Zant a break on the
hilarious.
vocals. So they would do these long, and they started getting longer and longer.
Free Jam Band is just, they're giving the singer a break. That's funny.
Yeah.
Does Allman Brothers sing Ramblin' Man?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Yeah. That's probably their most famous, I would say.
That's like a comic song. Like you feel, you know, like
Yeah.
a road comic song.
Yeah.
Like you feel, you know.
Yeah, like Chris Stapleton is really great. He has that song called Traveler, which never gets any.
Oh,
never,
what a
but
song.
that's such a
that
good,
album is fantastic.
I know. I like
Yeah.
that song as a comic.
Sure.
I got that. I bought this album, right? I went into Grimey's. I bought this Chris Stapleton album. The guy was like, this guy's really good. I bought it.
Vinyl?
No, just a CD.
Yeah.
I'm just listening to it in the car. I'm a traveler, listening to the whole thing. I'm loving it. Next week, he plays with Justin Timberlake at the CMAs or whatever, Tennessee Whiskey. And suddenly this guy is like a gigantic sensation. And I felt like I really wanted to make a post about how much I love this Chris Stapleton guy. And I just missed it by a week.
Yeah.
Because everybody, and I'm not saying I was the only one, but I was on that for 1 week before it felt like the whole world.
But I don't get, why would it matter?
It wouldn't matter, but
I
it's
get
like
it.
after the fact, it's like, well, yeah, of course you love this guy. We all love him.
Well, you
but
like-
a week
yeah.
before, I felt like I would have been like,
Well, you like to be the guy that likes the band first.
yes,
You know?
yeah.
100%. And if
I was-
other people
yeah.
like it, Dusty will start to hate
Yeah.
Yeah.
if other people like
I'm
something.
kind
A
of
lot of
like
people do
that.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
Charlie Crockett.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Charlie Crockett, I don't know if you guys know him. He's
I
phenomenal.
love
But-
Charlie Crockett.
But I saw him on a Zoom show when during the pandemic, and it was Willie Nelson's barbecue or 4th of July or whatever. But they did it as it was all on Zoom, and then he just did like a little set on there. I was like, this guy's awesome. And I followed him, and then now he's huge.
He's so great. I wish that he would just cover every country song that I like.
Oh yeah,
Because I love his covers. I mean, his original stuff is great too, but
Clown is amazing.
Charlie Crockett covering songs is my favorite thing in the world.
I have an album where he just all covers.
Yeah, there's two. There's like Blues Bonanza,
Yeah.
and then there's one other where
Like a
it's just
jukebox thing or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
yeah. That's a good
Gosh,
one.
those are so good.
Yeah, but Sturgill Simpson I like too, as far as country, newer country. I think.
Culture Wall.
Yeah, well, his cover of Promise is amazing.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so
Oh,
good.
that's the first thing I ever saw,
Ugh.
and I didn't even know it was a cover. But
Ugh.
I could not stop listening to that song
me
for
too.
like
I feel like
weeks,
Step Brothers.
weeks
Yeah.
straight.
Y'all just became best friends.
Yeah, for weeks straight. I just listened to that Promise over and over
It's so
again.
good,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah. And then when you hear the 80s version of the pop song, you just want to hear his.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as you hear it, it's so good.
It's so great.
Yeah.
I feel like in the 80s and 90s, movie soundtracks were a big deal, and music videos would often have scenes from the movie and vice
so
versa.
funny. I
Oh,
love when that
CMT used to be the best. I
Yeah.
mean, they had Ricky Skaggs had a song called Country Boy.
Yeah.
And that video was really great. And
Oh, it doesn't hold up though. I saw
I
it
watch
recently.
it all the time. I love that video.
Okay.
You don't think it holds up?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's so great.
Okay.
Well, they had Running Scared with Billy Crystal and who's that other guy?
Gregory Hines.
Gregory Hines.
Yep.
And it was like the McDonald. What's his name? The
Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And they're like all in the video. But yeah, I think they used to do that more.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch. We didn't have cable, so I had to watch Friday night videos.
Oh, yes.
I'd record it and then watch it. But I feel like, yes, have those videos. They would show scenes from a movie. Back to the Future was
yeah, it was whole part of the whole thing.
yeah, it was a big thing. I don't feel like that's the case. The Lion King was like one of the last ones that
Well, I don't think they're making blockbusters as much as they used to either.
Yeah.
You know, they're not making movies like
You
that.
know, like, but some of the
Gun.
superhero movies, like Guardians of the Galaxy, those both had pretty
Yeah.
great soundtracks. It was
Yeah.
all like
Yeah.
70s, 80s
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I think he means more like in the videos with the
Oh,
actors
oh.
yeah,
and stuff.
like Top Gun. That soundtrack was a big part of the movie. Like when you think of it,
Well, the Lady Gaga song has parts of the movie in it, you know, and she's singing it, and they're showing clips of the movie. She did one of the, I guess, the love song in it. I don't know. The last Top Gun.
Oh, I'm talking about the original.
Oh, the original. Oh, I think you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. Yeah.
That's the first time I saw a comic. Was Kenny Loggins. It was like, I guess, the music guy or whatever. And then I saw it was. I think it was. I forget who it was. It was somebody. The guy who writes Mario Joyner was like the comic, and he was just like. It was this, Kenny Loggins fan. And so just the whitest crowd you'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this guy and I was just like, this is great. And I think I was the only one that really was getting it. And I was a kid, but that was the first comic. I don't know if you guys, do you remember your first comic? Like the first stand-up comic you saw?
First stand-up comic I saw, whoever opened for Brian Regan. It was the first show that I saw live.
Here? Steve Rogers?
College. It wasn't Steve Rogers. I remember it was a guy, he had a bit about like a school bus. Okay. And then he sold a CD where it was him with a school bus.
Oh, that's
I would like to find out who that was. He was the first guy I saw.
Right.
It was South Bend, Indiana, the Morris Theater.
Oh, okay.
There. It was Brian Regan, yeah.
I didn't see any live comedy as a kid. So it's like, it's possible that, the first stand-up comedy I saw live was just other local comics.
Okay.
It's Todd Barry was one of my earliest comedy shows. Neil Hamburger I saw pretty early on, actually with Todd Barry again.
I had a hard time with Todd. I felt like I was doing Todd Barry in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys did that when you first started. You kind of sounded like people, and then you had to stop watching them.
Oh yeah.
Todd was one of those guys where I just felt like my brow would go down. Hey, start talking lower.
I love Todd Barry. I love Todd Barry.
Those aren't road straps. Those are speakers, baby.
yeah.
So funny.
When I was in college.
Saw Red Fox. Who'd you see?
Red Skeleton?
No one knew he was because Sanford's son hadn't come on yet. No, it was a guy. It was here at Zany's who was Bob Uecker's color commentator in the movie Major League. The guy who doesn't say anything.
Okay.
You guys seen the movie Major League?
Yeah,
sure. It's been a while, but yeah.
The guy in that movie was a stand-up comic, and he came to Zany's, and some of us went to see him and met him afterwards. He did a lot of impressions.
Okay, it'd be fun if he just didn't say anything and then stand-up.
It's very Kaufman.
Yeah.
There used to be a guy. There was a guy for a while who would do open mics in Nashville, and he would wear a kilt, and he would just not say anything.
Really?
He would just walk up there and just stand there for 4 minutes.
Just stand
and let
there?
me tell you.
And he's not doing comedy.
That's the best opener, though.
He's got too much politics. Dude.
Yeah.
He, how quickly we were over that. About 15 seconds. You're like, all right, this is not funny, dude.
Yeah.
And he did multiple mics. He would just ruin the show.
That was a guy that I would just tell. I would be like, you're not allowed to do it.
Well, I think Joe Kelly did do that at his mic. He was like, we're not doing this, dude. Yeah. You can't just filibuster.
Did you guys
not even filibuster, just stand
the opposite
there.
of filibuster.
Did you guys ever try something stupid like just because you thought it was genius? I remember one time I did I bought a goldfish and this is like early open mic because you have no idea what you're doing because you're just trying and you want to be different and edgy and weird and whatever. So I bought a goldfish and then I put it in a glass of water and I was on stage and so I'm holding the glass with the goldfish, but I never mention it. Like, and my what I was gonna do, I was gonna swallow it at the end.
Whoa.
Like I was like, I'm gonna be that guy, and then I would, every time I would almost drank it and then go back into the jokes or whatever, and it was horrible. And then I remember seeing just the fish poop in there. It was like I'm not swallowing this.
Yeah,
but in my head I was gonna swallow this goldfish as this like crazy Kaufman weird.
Weird, then you think like I'm burning through 40 goldfish a week.
But I did it once, and I was like, I'm just going to do jokes.
Your fish
I'm just going to do jokes. No, I never swallowed. I just did it the one time. And
you're getting your omegas.
Yeah, that's good for you. Yeah.
Isn't it funny how the people we love the most are often the hardest to shop for?
Hilarious.
Luckily, there's one gift that everyone on your list is sure to enjoy. An Aura digital picture frame. Named #1 by Wirecutter, Aura frames make it incredibly easy to share unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. And when you give Aura frame as a gift, you can personalize it and preload it with the thoughtful message and photos using the Aura app, making it an ideal present for long-distance loved one. it's a gift so special. They'll use it every day.
Yeah, whether they want to or not, it'll just be on.
Yeah, because I'll load it with whatever pictures I want them to look at. I'll do it with my app, and I'll go, no, you'll look at my face. You don't know how to get it off there, do you? But I do. It is a good frame.
It's awesome.
It's good. My mom and my dad uses it, and they're not married, so it's in 2 different houses. So I can send pictures of the grandkids, and otherwise they might not never see what they look like.
Same pictures to each one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they get to watch my kids grow up through this frame. Otherwise, they might not even know they exist. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com and get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code NATE at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code NATE. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays.
All right.
Terms and conditions apply.
Mm-hmm. They usually do. Is there a concert that stands out to you guys that being so good or so bad, like the best or worst?
Creed
concert?
at Bridgestone Arena.
Yeah.
Creed. You love that Creed, man.
First concert I saw was Guster at the Bama Theater in Birmingham, Alabama. Ray LaMontagne opened. I had never heard of him.
I love Ray LaMontagne.
And he was so great. One of the worst stage presence I've ever seen.
I've heard
barely
something like
moved.
That. Yeah.
Never said hi.
Heard he really gets mad if anybody makes a sound while he's on stage.
But the music was great.
He's really great.
And then, man, I've seen Guster multiple times. OAR, not OAR. Who did I see? Yeah, Third Eye Blind. I've seen a lot of Kiss. I saw Kiss at Bridgestone.
Nice.
Unbelievable, just the spectacle of it.
Great show.
And they had a lot of songs I didn't know were Kiss that I was just aware of. So Kiss was unreal.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I had a guy. This
Tedeschi Trucks was awesome with the Ryman I saw. Anyway, yeah.
This guy. This is a local band in Charleston, and I got him to. I was trying to. There was no stage time in Charleston, so I was trying to get more stage time. So I got this guy to let me open for him, but he was opening for another band, right? So he wanted me. He tells me before the show. He goes, all right. He goes, after my set, I want you to go up. He goes, I got you this gig, so I need you to do this for me. So he goes, all right, when I go out, when I come back in, I want you to go out and go, oh, that was really good, huh? Give it up for. I'm not gonna say the name, but give it up for that band, huh? They were really good, huh? How about? I bet we could get him to do an encore, huh? And then we're in a small room. There's 30 people in there. Yeah. And he wanted me to go, encore, encore. And I don't think anyone did it. And then I turn around and he's coming back out, right? Like he's about to play. And then the guy over the loudspeaker goes, yeah, that's not how it works. We gotta break all this stuff down, and we gotta move. I go, oh, okay. Yeah. So then I'm like, they had let me do stand up in the middle, so I was like, all right, well, I'll just start doing jokes. Then the guy goes, yeah, that's not how it works either. We gotta break all these mics down. So it's so embarrassing. But my other the guy he was opening for was my friend too. So he was like, I'll just once they get it all situated, I'll let you do some time before my band goes up. And then I'm like so bad at comedy that after all of that, I finally get to go up and do my 10 minutes and I just bomb. And it's just embarrassing. It's like a whole production for just like, I just wanted a little stage time.
Yeah. All right.
None of that back then.
Yeah.
It was all bad. But that is what I needed. I needed more embarrassing experiences to get tougher as a comic.
Right. I think comedy and music is tough to pull off. Like when it's like a band. I don't know if you've ever worked with other bands and stuff. I don't think it always works. I did one time. It was like a Bamboozled was like a tour, kind of like a van Warp tour kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It was in Jersey. And I was, not at my best. I want to say maybe we did some stuff in the parking lot. And so we get to the gig and it's a tent. And I'm sitting there, and then Robert Smigel is the comic with me.
Okay,
Triumph
the Cowardly.
Yeah, who's like a genius. Yeah. Has written all these amazing things. So it's me and him. I'm supposed to go up, and then it's going to be him. And there's like a band that's like a Rancid kind of like crazy punk band on the stage, And so we're supposed to follow this band. And it's just like they're just crushing with all these kids and stuff. And as soon as they get off, we're in this one tent. They go, all right, man, we got free pizza and stickers in our booth, like outside. And so the whole audience, I'm with this Emmy winner. The whole audience just leaves. And they all just go to this tent for free pizza. And we're just standing there. And
we can never beat free pizza.
Yeah, you can never beat free pizza.
Yeah. I did a comedy festival in Wilmington years ago, and they used to have Nut Street used to be underground. That was the comedy club. And then above they had another show and like a laundromat. So the laundromat show was packed and we're all going, and then Nut Street's closed, but they're going to open at some point. So it's like, they basically call me up on stage, and then, or maybe they go, all right, Nut Street's open. And then everybody goes down to Nut Street, and then they introduce me to stage. And I'm like, it was like, we went from a packed show to completely empty. And I'm like, all right, I signed up for this festival. It cost me money.
Is there any, I mean, I kind of has concerts that stand out as really bad? Like, oh, that was so disappointing.
Oh, like seeing live shows?
Yeah.
I saw Bob Dylan and wish I hadn't.
I hear that a lot about
When
Bob
did you see
Dylan.
Bob Dylan?
Saw him at the Fontanelle
In the
here in
2000s?
Nashville. Yeah, I mean 2015,
Yeah, I
2016.
think Bob Dylan after the 70s maybe is not worth
He
seeing.
played, since he went electric. He
Since he went non-verbal.
yeah, I know. That's what he played. No hits.
Oh,
He played all new stuff. He barely looked up. You know, he's just looking down at his guitar. It was pretty bad.
I mean, it's like, it's such a weird thing. Like, how do you write so many great hits and then you like never even accidentally write a good one for 40 years?
Yeah.
Well, there's a conspiracy theory that a high school kid wrote "Blowing in the Wind."
And he stole it from him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but even if
Carlos Mencia of folk music.
Even if you take away that one, he still had some other.
Yeah, and,
you know what I
and
mean?
nobody
Rolling Stone
takes that serious.
Well, I had tickets to go see him with Willie and at the Hollywood Bowl, and towards the end there, I just ended up selling the tickets. Like I just thought it was going to be one of those experiences.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want to see.
It was
this.
like I wish I hadn't have seen it.
I think the most disappointed I ever was with a concert was Dolly Parton. It was probably it broke my heart.
Time to bring her down.
Broke my heart.
Finally, somebody's saying it.
Broke my heart. So
I got feelings about.
Well, here's the deal with Dolly. I love Dolly. She's great. You know, whatever. Good songwriter, whatever. So I got tickets for my girlfriend for her birthday, and it was Dolly in New York City. And I was so excited, and the big picture of her and everything. She's like Dolly Parton, and then it's like there's like a little tiny thing that says Niles Rodgers is going to be like the other act.
Okay.
And so we get there, and everybody's crazy. Everybody's dressed up like Dolly. Like everybody's going bananas for Dolly Parton. You know, it's a real small venue, and we get up there, and she, they introduce her, and they just introduce her first, which is weird. And then she gets up there and she sings "I Always Love You" and then 9 to 5, and then leaves. And it was like, that's it. She did 2 songs.
Wow.
I paid like $300 for these tickets.
Wow.
2 songs, she's gone. And then Niles Rodgers, who, he wrote some David Bowie songs. He's a jam guy, and he's talented.
But in the grand scheme of things, who cares?
Nobody was coming for Niles Rodgers.
Yeah.
And he did like an hour and a half, and she did 2 songs.
That's like if you went to see Nate, and Nate did iced coffee with milk, and then Bates went out
Yeah.
and did 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's a great analogy.
Hey, Niles Rodgers, he won a lot of Grammys. So,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
he was great. He did like Duran
I
Duran
apologize
songs,
to Niles
but-
Rodgers.
I think Billboard just put out top 100 country singers of all time, and Dolly Parton was number 1.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
it's
have a problem with
That
that.
doesn't
like,
surprise me.
It's like, that's pretty annoying. Like, she is great. She has had a lot of hits.
Yeah.
but
Morgan Wallen too.
He was like, he was way up.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, and which I agree with. I'm not a fan of what he does. But
Post Malone.
I know people do love him. Post Malone was not on the list, thankfully. But it was like, it's just like, number one. It's
Even over Loretta Lynn, I would.
yeah, give
over.
her top 20. I mean, she's influential. She's still around. People like her. She's done great things, but
Not before Patsy, Cline, and all that stuff. Yeah.
But this is all artists, not just female.
yes.
So over Johnny Cash, over everybody.
Yeah, I want to say Johnny Cash was top 10, maybe number 2. Willie Nelson, I think, might have been number 2, and
That's nice.
he's done really great things. But I mean, I would say
Merle Haggard should be.
Merle Haggard, Hank Williams, even Hank Williams Jr. was like up
Ernest
50s.
Hardy,
I like the third. You ever
Florida
seen him?
Georgia
He's
Line.
great.
Yeah.
Hank the Third. You ever seen him live?
Never seen him
Oh,
live.
he's fantastic.
I've seen him in the
He has the grandfather's
like
the
voice.
Wild and Wonderful Whites
Yeah.
documentary.
When he
It's called
sings
Hank
old
Third.
Yeah.
country, it's really
His
good.
voice
It's
is
really
he
good.
yodels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's fantastic.
All right, build your all-time great rock band: drummer, guitarist, bassist, singer.
Oh, we're
Build
doing
it.
You go first.
You go first.
This is gonna be tough.
I just want to hear you do it.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
do it. At their peak,
You pick them out from their prime and you put them in. It can be from different eras, different genres, different bands.
I'll say because I'm trying to think of people we haven't mentioned yet. Vince Neil,
Okay.
That's
you know
your singer.
Vince Neil,
No.
Motley Crue.
Okay.
That's your singer.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nice.
nice. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I thought he was criticizing.
80,
Nice.
Well,
Okay.
a little criticized,
Yeah.
but if
Oh,
you 80, what year though? Not like now.
no. I said at their peak. Like
Oh, their peak. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
I'm trying to think again. People we haven't guitar. Well, our drummer, the Def Leppard's drummer.
The one arm guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I forgot his name.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows. Yeah.
Come on, he's got one arm. He's playing the
yeah.
drums.
I know.
We knew who you were
I
talking
like
about.
it. I like. He's working extra hard. That guy.
Yeah.
All right. Gene Simmons.
Wow. That's your bass player.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm letting you fill in what they play. Of course, it's my bass player.
Yeah.
So now I
Yeah.
gotta get lead guitar, right?
Lead
You need
guitar.
a
You got this.
guitarist,
What do you
yeah.
got?
I'm trying to think of someone we haven't talked about yet.
Mhm.
Well, you can talk about it. It doesn't have to be
Doesn't
that.
have to be in
I
the.
know. I
someone
just
we
don't want
talked
you guys to think I
We
don't
don't
know what I'm
care.
talking about.
No.
I'm trying
You can
No,
lift.
we would
You can
never
lift
think
one of
that.
our. Yeah.
to, Slash.
Okay. That's not bad. I mean, that's a.
Yeah.
That's
Tommy
a.
Lee. I don't know.
That's a. I mean, that's a glam band for sure.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a
Well, that's
hair
what Bri-
metal.
Well,
That's
that's me.
Brian.
That's me.
That's
Oh,
what
you love the
Brian's
hair
into.
metal? You're the hair metal guy? Okay.
Were you at Laura's birthday party?
I was.
Velcro Piggies.
They were fantastic.
Yeah.
They were a good time.
When I was in college, they were the big band, the college band.
Okay.
That would, and Bobby Bear Jr. I remember would come. You know Bobby Bear Jr.
Yeah. Yeah. I know
You
you're
know
talking about.
Bobby Bear.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
son
Yeah.
would come
Absolutely.
and play.
We
on our
covered him
college
on the
campus.
show. Yeah.
Hey, Bear.
Hey, Bear.
Do you know Bobby Bear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that went nowhere. All right. That's a good question.
That's
that was
good.
my answer.
That was good. I mean, that was solid. What about you?
That was
Dustin?
so.
We should
This
save
is tough.
him. Let's
Don't
save him.
overthink it.
Let's save him.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go
yeah.
to
Save
the
you?
next.
Okay. You go next.
Well, you want mine's gonna. You're all gonna hate mine.
Mine's not going to be good either. I think that's why he should go last.
Okay.
Okay. I'm putting Pino Palladino on bass.
Bam. Yeah, you are.
Who's that? Who's
he's
that?
A jazz bass. He plays with the John Mayer Trio.
Okay.
He's
Wow. Getting
really
classy
great.
on us
Pino
here.
Palladino.
No.
I'll do.
You don't know Paladino?
Let me do Corey Wong on the guitar.
Of course.
Corey
Corey
Feldman?
Wong?
Over Corey Feldman? Yeah.
Corey Feldman's
The Corys.
stage side ready to go. If something goes wrong.
Who's Corey Wong?
Corey Wong.
You don't know
is,
Corey Wong?
Come on.
He's like a funk guitarist. He plays with Wolfpack, but he does his
Wow.
own stuff. I like him a lot.
I didn't
Okay.
see this
And
coming.
then I'll do Nate Smith on the drums, and then
Who's
singing.
that? Who's Nate Smith?
He's just a drummer.
He didn't play with the band.
He plays with a bunch of different
Just
bands.
plays by
but
himself?
Yeah, he's like a mercenary dude.
Okay,
He'll
all right.
he'll go in wherever you need him. And then singing.
Yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it would be fun to play with these guys.
Yeah.
Sing. I'll do Robert Plant with those guys.
Nice. Robert Plant.
Yeah.
Good choice.
All right.
That's not bad.
Okay, let's go. Levon Helm on the drums.
Yeah,
Okay.
buddy.
Yeah, let's go. Because he can sing a little bit too.
Sure,
We'll get
sure.
that in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, see, I
Let's-
didn't think about that.
Yeah,
It's good to
let's
have a
go,
singer drummer.
Let's go on the piano. Elton John. Let's get
Piano.
that.
I didn't know we were
Let's
adding
do dueling
pianos in.
Piano.
Oh, wow.
Elton John.
Yeah.
What?
Leon Russell.
Oh,
Dueling
no.
pianos. Yeah, let's get
Who's on
that-
harp?
Let's get that going.
This is
Let's
crazy
go.
band you got here.
Bass. Who's the guy from Primus? Let's go with that guy. Let's go with that guy.
I don't even know his name.
Tears up a bass.
We're so bad. We're like the one-armed drummer, the guy from.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got left? We got guitar and we got a singer. So singer, let's go Freddie Mercury. Let's go.
Wow.
Okay.
Big pipes. Let's go big
Freddie
pipes.
Mercury?
Big pipes.
Freddie Mercury.
What kind of music does this band play?
They
Just
play
whatever.
country. It's all country. And then, they've all got a little. Levon L does a little country.
Little Americana.
Elton John
Just
had
a country.
a little
Just
bit of
some
a country
country.
album.
Yeah. Okay.
Leon
Desperado
Russell
thing.
done some country. Who was my bass player? The Primus guy. Yeah, he's a bit of a. He seems like a bit of a redneck guy.
Well, he's great. He's a great bass player.
Yeah.
They can figure it out.
Yeah,
He's like
and
a
then,
funk guy.
So we need a lead guitar now.
Yeah. What do you got?
Who's it gonna be?
Put in Brad Paisley.
Who tears it up?
Brad Paisley.
Brad Paisley's
And he
unreal.
would bring
He
a
is
funny
unreal.
element. He would bring some comedy to it,
Okay.
Dwight Yoakam.
and a bit of I don't know.
Nick Thune.
Let's go. Yeah, that could be a good one. Johnny W
Rick
plays a little
Roberts.
guitar.
Johnny W for the win. Johnny W for the win.
Rodney Carrington.
And then Johnny W plays guitar. And Steve Martin on banjo.
Wow. I can
Yeah.
just end it there. I got nothing.
That's
a
great-
I can't follow that.
Yeah.
That's super amazing.
No,
band.
no, you can. You can do a real one. That's
Ooh.
Yeah,
good.
do a real one.
Wow, a real one.
No, that mine's real though.
And you know how you
Yours
talked
real.
about your great closer, and then you got 9 minutes
Yeah,
left. That's what's happening
Yeah,
right now.
I'm gonna tank. This is gonna be great. Yeah, I didn't know we were adding pianos and stuff.
Yeah.
in there.
No,
Well,
just
you
go
did
back.
it.
I thought we were just doing the
Put
basic.
Corey
Well,
Henry on piano.
Any
Rock.
instrument you want.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Any
Yeah.
instrument you want.
Okay, we got
Roy Scovel
all
on
right.
piano.
I didn't even
got,
put a fiddle player in
Okay, we
my
got
band.
Woody Allen on clarinet.
Yeah, there you go. All right, now we're talking.
He's coming out. Of
Now
the
we're
gate.
talking.
We got Matthew McConaughey on bongos.
There you
Okay,
go.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we got a little drum
You got
circle going.
Woody Harrelson on
All
the
right,
kazoo.
all right, all right.
All right, all right.
Okay.
That's as far as real drummer. I'm gonna go Animal from the Muppets.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah,
go
that's a
Animal
good
from the
one.
Muppets.
Yeah.
And then if I was to do a real list,
John Bonham?
Yeah, Neil Peart would be in there for me.
Okay.
I think he's the greatest drummer of all
Rest
time.
in peace.
Yeah, he was great. Oh, they can't. Did they have to be alive?
No,
this
no,
band?
no, no.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Guitarist.
You just build Led Zeppelin. What do you get out to Jimmy Page?
I mean, I think they're
Vocals,
the greatest rock band of all time.
Yeah.
I think they're better
Me
than
too.
the Beatles and
Me
everybody
too.
else.
Me too.
I love Led Zeppelin. I will fight that all day. Yeah, guitarist. Who's the guy? That's the problem. I'm gonna go Hendrix, I guess. Yeah, just an early Hendrix.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
what a sellout.
Right, right. We'll
And
go
then- but I
Mike,
want to keep it weird though. I'm gonna go
Mike Huckabee on bass.
That's a good one.
Dana
He's
Dana
actually
Carvey
decent.
on harmonica. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
John Tesh on piano.
I'll do
Yeah.
John Popper. If we
Yeah.
get
I'll do John
harmonica,
Tesh.
Yeah.
John Tesh was
I'll
great.
do
Yeah.
John Popper, man.
What am I missing?
Saxophone.
Saxophone.
Is,
Clinton.
Clinton.
Yeah,
yeah,
Bill
Clinton.
No,
Bill
I
Clinton
was
for
thinking
sure.
Kenny G.
Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton. Nice.
Yeah, Kenny G.
Michael
Yeah.
Bolton.
Didn't
Yeah.
Michael Bolton do something? with it?
Kenny G's
He's
a
a
great
Singer.
route.
Yeah.
He's saying.
They get
yeah.
people get those confused. But I think Michael Bolton just
Yeah.
sang.
Dave
Okay.
Koz, somebody like that.
I think
Smooth jazz.
Janis Joplin, I think, has the greatest voice of all time.
Yeah, and that was
I-
I was actually I
Interesting.
wanted to switch out
Interesting.
Freddie Mercury, but
I like Janis.
Janice is good.
Yeah.
Joe Bonzel.
Jubonzel? Who's Jubonzel?
Who's that?
That was Oak Ridge Boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oak Ridge Boys.
Elvira.
Henny Youngman on the fiddle.
Elvira.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah,
Take my band, please.
yeah. What about
It's a pretty
Yo
good band.
Yo Yo Ma on the cello?
Yeah.
There's a guy.
Judy Tenuta
just show-
on the.
Yeah,
What's that called?
John DeToy on the Yo-Yo
the,
Ma.
What's that called? Accordion.
yeah,
Yeah, Weird
Steve
Al.
Urkel.
Weird Al on the accordion for sure.
There's a joke I heard. It was in DC years ago. I think his name was Andy Klein.
That was a good
Is it
bit.
Andy Klein's DC comic? I feel bad if I got his name wrong because the bit was so funny. He had a bit about whenever a musician dies, they always go, he's up there jamming with Hendrix right now. He's up there jamming with Hendrix. He's like, yeah, all that guy's doing is making that jam session worse. He's like, you're in heaven, and you're like, all right, we got Jimi Hendrix on guitar, we got Keith Moon on drums, we got Mozart on the piano, and then we got Kevin's uncle. I think about that joke all the time. I think that's
very
Andy
funny.
Klein. Yeah.
Very funny. Put Andy Klein on lead comedian.
Who's opening for this band for your band?
Oh gosh.
Who's opening?
Yeah, For your band, when your
Hanson?
band that you just created goes to play, who's opening?
Hanson.
Yeah. For me, New Kids on the Block.
Oh yeah,
Hanson's great.
I
Go
saw
listen
them.
to some of Hanson's new stuff.
So did I.
I'm serious.
Did you
That's
see them?
something no one's ever said.
Oh, you're so wrong about that. You're so wrong about that.
No one I've ever been riding around with said. Just like your Elvis comment, I never heard that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I'm not saying, but go listen to them.
Okay.
Hanson's still doing music.
Oh, yeah. They're great.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, Chris Hanson's too.
All right, can I share before we wrap it up a few conspiracy theories?
Oh please.
Rock music. It's not going to be as good as what,
Where has this
what we
been?
just had. Well, like I said, this should have been the closer because it's not going to
Yeah.
be as good as what I have here. But I'll throw out a few. Do you guys know an artist, Andrew WK?
Yeah.
Yeah. Party hard.
Oh, I know a little bit about this conspiracy.
Mhm.
I don't
Or
know.
apparently, the conspiracy theory is he doesn't exist. It's actually Dave Grohl playing this guy.
Oh, I didn't know
Okay.
that they thought it was Dave Grohl. I
Ah.
thought that that just was
It's like the Garth Brooks thing.
A
that he
character
did.
created.
yeah, that just kind of like every
Hmm.
other people are playing him. He's not always the same.
I'd say the fact that he looks nothing like him is probably
Well, you know how people
really throws a
shape.
wrench.
He
in
looks
this
very
conspiracy
AI
theory.
though. That
Yeah,
guy.
he does.
It's like
look
Dusty
AI.
if he was on Undercover Boss.
But I just think it's one of those things where they're like he
And
can
he
be
was
played by
jacked.
different people at different times, and and it's like,
Yeah, that guy doesn't look real.
is he ever really the same guy? And
Right,
He only
it's
had the one song, right?
Party Hard was the big one.
Yeah,
But that was a great song.
yeah, it was fun. I remember that.
All right, I got this one from Dustin's Vinyls.
Oh wow. Okay.
Billy Squier's song "Rock Me Tonight." The video was so bad it killed his career.
Absolutely. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
It's
Do you guys know Billy Squier?
I know Billy Squire.
yeah. Play a little bit of the video. It's the last thing you want, from your rock
For a-
star is this video. It's like when you're doing it's
Oh,
What a
no.
weird camera
it's
angle.
Weird
What's he doing?
camera. He's humping the ground. He's got a halter top cut,
What is he doing?
shoulder thing. Now he's taking his shirt off.
Billy Squire, you got the da 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 da.
Stroke me.
Look at the dance. Look at the dance. He's like, look at these. It's these dance moves. I mean, because "Stroke Me" is a great song. That's a
Yes.
great song.
Yeah.
That's a hard rocking, good
Yeah.
song. Like
Okay.
he had some good hits, and then this just
That's what
ruined it.
Adam Sandler pulls up to in the Billy Madison movie when he's in high school.
It's such a great guitar riff. But that's what we, and then this came out. I think it's what's this one called? Dance Tonight, Party Tonight,
Rock
or
Me
something?
Tonight.
Rock Me Tonight. Yeah,
Tonight spelled wrong.
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
I was watching this Yacht Rock documentary on HBO that just came out.
Yeah.
It basically talked about all these guys who, once MTV came out, they were like, you could be a musician and be not charismatic and like visually uninteresting, right?
Oh,
Until
yeah.
MTV.
Oh,
all these
yeah.
yacht rock guys just died. That's what made me think, like, what is this guy doing?
Well, that's the thing.
Imagine Christopher Cross doing this.
Well, you didn't know what people look like. That was the best part. Like nobody knows what Boston looked like,
Uh-huh.
or like
Yeah.
half of these bands. Molly Hatchet. Nobody knew what any of those guys look like. That was the best part.
This reminds me of that. There's the David Bowie and Mick
Oh,
Jagger,
Mick Jagger,
when,
yeah.
they, when,
Dancing
they,
in the street.
when they take the sound out and
Yeah.
put in the other sound effects.
Yeah, it's just the feet.
yeah. That's what that reminds me of.
But yeah, I think things like this can definitely ruin your band. One of the greatest bands ever. What's the song? Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Look that up. Dancing in the Street.
What's that band?
Living Color.
Living Color.
Look at me pull that out.
Good job, because I covered that. I think Cult Personality is probably one of the greatest rock songs of that era. And then they did Glamour Boys, and it's like a Barbie thing, and it's just took everything out of like their rock image, and I think that ruined them because they should have been a bigger band. They were an all black rock band, which that's rare, and they were great. And that song Cult Personality is fantastic. But then that video came out. I don't know if you had the video, but it's like it's Glamour Boys by it's just the worst, and it just ruined their whole image. They're walking around with like Ken mask on and stuff,
Oh, my
and it's
gosh.
just really bad.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like
Yeah, this is
Well,
Yeah.
wait, let's see. I mean,
well, this is okay now, but
Yeah,
I
it
think
seems
it
okay
gets
right
it gets a
now.
little weird. It gets a
I
little
don't
weird.
think it is.
yeah, I mean, there's jamming right now.
Okay.
Paper
I don't
mache
know if
car.
that's-
back
there it
there.
is. Yeah, they're doing that kind of stuff with those masks, like that stuff, and we were like, "What?"
It seems very 80s to me.
Well, that's the problem. The 80s ruined a lot of people.
Yeah.
Including us.
I wish I'd started in the 80s.
Yeah. All right. Dusty, you're a big Grateful Dead fan or a fan.
Well, I've just become a fan of the Grateful Dead in the
Deadhead?
last few years. I don't know why I've been sleeping on them all this time, but I really...
Probably because a lot of people liked them.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
bet you're right.
Yeah.
But I like them. I'm into them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. On their 50th anniversary farewell show in 2015, they're playing their closing rendition of Viola Lee Blues. A rainbow appears over the stadium. And the conspiracy is they paid $50,000 to beam the fake rainbow into the sky at just the right moment. I saw the video on YouTube. It looks real to me.
Yeah.
Well, or cloud seeding. Who knows what happens.
All right. I thought that would be more interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
I'm not a Grateful Dead guy. I'm more, I don't know. Not really.
I'm into it. I mean, it's like the album, this is what I say. Anybody wanting to get into the Grateful Dead and you're not into them, this is what you do. I think you go on Spotify.
Okay.
And you
It's hard to be drug free though and be into that band, I just
well, I'm not advocating for that, you know what I mean? And and you Cornell Live 5877.
Okay.
That album
It's the album?
is
That's the
is
one?
That's a jam.
That's the one that'll hook
That is
you?
a jam.
Okay.
Phil, I'd always heard this. Phil Collins in the Air Tonight was about he witnessed someone let a man drown. And then the always the conspiracy theory was he was at a concert, put the spotlight on him and called him out there in front of the audience. Have you guys heard that?
And then he's saying like right to his face and it's a whole thing. That's the thing. There was no internet to disprove that.
Yeah.
And we were all just running around thinking that stuff.
Of course you do.
Let's end the show right there. That's it. That's the closer. It's hard to follow that one.
I'll do a couple more. Kiss. I always heard growing up, it stood for Knights in Satan's Service.
Well, Texas, That's,
Kids in
we had to
Satan's
burn our Kiss albums, man.
Yeah.
Like in the church
look
parking
at those
lot.
guys though. It's hard to be like, no, that's not what it stands for, guys. Look at them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just four Jewish
Yeah.
dudes from Queens,
Yeah,
they weren't that attractive, and so they found a way to kind of.
No, they do look cool, but if people think that, and then you go, well, let's see them, and we'll decide, and you go, no, I gotta see it.
And great show they put on. I saw
Yeah,
like a later
crazy.
show, and it was great.
Like AC/DC, they were saying was Antichrist Devil's Child.
Sort of alternating current director.
What a band!
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite concerts. AC/DC
Okay.
at the Garden, the Black Ice tour. They
They're
were
coming
phenomenal.
here to Nissan Stadium.
And then you go, no
they're
way that means Antichrist Devil Child. What are some
Who
of their
cares?
songs? And
It's
they go,
such a-
Highway to Hell, Back in Black. Okay.
Have a drink on me.
Supertramp.
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 Yeah.
Golly.
Dusty,
You
you'll like
guys are going
this.
back.
Breakfast in America.
Supertramp's awesome.
Their album cover for Breakfast in America,
Yeah.
which I love that the name of that
9/11.
album. If you put in a mirror, it looks like they're predicting 9/11.
Yeah.
Oh, you know this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is
of course I do.
that's the thing?
Why does it look like they're predicting?
Well,
Look
if you
at that. The twin. You
the
got
U and the P,
Yeah.
if it was backwards, it would look like 9.
And then she's
11.
got the glass right over
Oh.
the Twin Towers.
That's supposed to be
there.
fire, I guess.
Yeah, that's reaching. Yeah.
You think?
That's,
So
yeah.
what? But what's the implication of that? That the band Supertramp was somehow involved in 9/11?
I don't know. It's just
I know. I
A lot
agree.
of predictive
I'm just saying. Well, what's the
programming.
next? What's what
there was-
follows that?
Yeah.
There was lots of predictive programming, they say, of 9/11. Like throughout movies, there was for a long time.
But when was
there
this? This
lots
was
of
like
stuff.
what, 82?
80s.
Yeah,
Years and
that's-
years.
But what?
It's insane.
take some
To
time.
what end? Why would they put these clues out?
Just
Like who's putting the clues out? This album artist?
the Satanists.
Maybe they didn't even realize what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Like
there's-
maybe it just
There's like a Simpsons
Oh,
one where
okay.
they're like I forget, like it's like, I don't know, the he's holding up a newspaper and it has something like 9/11 on it, and Bart's standing there with a bunch of money in his hand, and it's like there's a lot of stuff like that. Who knows if it means anything? But people have spent a lot of time digging these things.
I think
up.
I know. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, who knows? But
Whether the Simpsons predicted 9/11?
Well, the Simpsons, they say, predict lots of things.
Yeah.
They're always saying
because they've been on for 30-something years.
Mm-hmm. And they're on the pulse of the culture and stuff.
They're starting to say that about this podcast now.
They're not.
Because we're 230 episodes in. They'll say,
because
Aaron predicted in episode 46 that... Anyway. All right. Stephen King killed John Lennon.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I never
heard that one.
So
I saw his house, though.
Mark David Chapman, who killed John Lennon, looks apparently a lot like Stephen King. I'm kind of debugging, but
they said Stephen Curtis Chapman. I was like, Stephen Curtis Chapman killed John Lennon.
That'd be better.
Okay, all right.
Mark David Chapman.
Okay,
looks like Stephen King, or especially back in 1980 when it happened,
okay,
or whatever. I'm not sure why they hired Stephen King, but apparently his piece, his whole message of peace, Ronald Reagan and the likes did not like that because that goes against what they were doing. So they had him killed by Stephen King.
That's Stephen King.
Yeah.
There is another theory on that too, that, Paul McCartney was killed years ago in a car accident, and they wanted to keep the Beatles going. So they just replaced him with they had a Paul McCartney look-alike competition where they were looking for somebody that looks and sounds similar to Paul McCartney.
Right.
They found this guy, but since Paul McCartney and John Lennon were best friends, that's when Paul McCartney started to fight with John Lennon. The two of them started to fight because this was not the real Paul McCartney, but he had to keep it. And they said John Lennon was about to expose the secret. So
and then on one of the albums, if you play it backwards, it says Paul is dead.
Paul's dead. Yeah. And then a lot of the covers of some of the Beatles albums, they'll have stuff like alluding to Paul being dead. Wow. Like Abbey Road, Paul McCartney's in all white, no shoes.
Yeah.
Why would they allude to it?
Well, they're just trying to put it out there that he's dead.
Yeah, and they had to keep making those Beatles records, man.
Yeah,
that's
they want you to know, but not really know.
Yeah,
just kind of tease you.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks is a serial killer.
Oh yeah. Is this the guy that killed John Lennon, or is this Stephen King?
That's Stephen King.
Okay. He looks like he'd killed some people.
All right, so in 2018, Garth Brooks made a tour announcement, and on the video, and then Tom Segura made a joke that said Garth Brooks looks like he's killed multiple people before. And it grew legs and it's taken off. And now there's this conspiracy theory that whatever town he's in touring, multiple people disappear.
Wow.
That Garth Brooks is the guy.
The only thing he kills is country music. Sorry, I'm kidding. He's great. He's great. Friends in low places. I got
it. Garth Brooks had a nice run, but looking back,
it's not the best.
On the dance,
it's not the best.
There's some really great songs.
Low Places is one of the greatest.
And I love some of those. I love a lot of those songs, but it's like, it's not the country that I enjoy the most.
Yeah, looking back.
Everything
on the memory of
all
the dance we shared.
For a moment.
And then I kind of mentioned it, but that thing he did where he's trying to be the grunge singer.
Oh yeah, Chris Gaines.
Gaines. I mean, that was like the first of, this.
Yeah, we talked about one on here.
Did you talk about
wanted to get out of the limelight. So they did the whole Chris Gaines thing.
Killed his career.
He did the whole Chris Gaines thing. And then when he came back, it was a different guy playing him. But since it'd been a little while, people didn't catch on as much.
Well, we're talking about Bates was always thought about doing this, creating this alter ego, and then he just goes out and he's just the filthiest insult comment.
That's what I want him to do.
That would be great.
I don't need filthy Bates, but I want edgy Bates. That's what I want.
Who Bates really is.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Do I wear a mustache?
I don't think you need
I think you should wear the long
shave
hair
your head,
that you
shave
wore
your head.
at Laura's 80s party.
Yeah, the Velcro Pygmies. That was my Dusty Slay hair.
That's what you should wear, and just come out and they are doing a dirty show now at Zany's, I think, a late night show. You should just come out in that character.
Yep.
I want to come out. I got a few dirty jokes I'd like to do. And they're just stuff I think about, and I'm like, well, I'll never do that joke. But I got some from over the years that
you got to get it out. It's like a cleansing.
Yeah, well, I just think they're funny, and I'd like to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, my church is having open mic night, so I'll go practice it, and then.
Well, you guys kind of all started clean, right? Just pretty much, just
somewhat.
In that direction.
I'm probably a little cleaner now than how I started, but I never was very dirty.
Yeah.
That was pretty edgy, and then I had to kind of like go down a cleaner road which wasn't
for
easy.
your dry bar taping.
But just working with Nate,
Yeah.
like that. I mean, it's like you just kind of get rid of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of grow up a little bit, I think is what it is.
Mm-hmm. All right. That was fun. That was fun.
That's fun.
Thanks for coming, Dustin.
Thanks, buddy.
Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm glad we got Dusty and Dustin in the same room together.
This has been a great, really great podcast.
Yes.
I'm running it. You remember I'm running this one?
Oh, my bad. Yeah, well, we'll let you wrap this up, Doug.
I want you guys to know.
Put a bow on this, brother.
It's been a really great podcast. But, before we get out of here, there's a couple of things I'd like to know. I'd like to know where Brian is at this weekend.
Oh, thank you for asking.
Yeah.
You're asking. This Friday, I am in Fort Worth, Texas at Hyenas Comedy Club. Only a few tickets left. So if you wait till Friday night, you might be too late. It
Get
may
them
be
now.
sold out.
Get them now. Edgy Bates coming to Hyenas.
With the wig.
Probably not this Friday, but I need a little time. But come to Hyenas this Friday. But get your tickets quick before they sell out. January 3rd and 4th, I'm in Lexington, Kentucky at Comedy Off Broadway. Comedy Off Broadway. It's a great club. All right.
It's amazing.
Dustin Chafin, where can we find you at this weekend?
One more.
I like how Brian always gives the full calendar.
I love it.
No, we need it.
Give us your Google calendar.
Yes.
Give your Google
Sorry, we don't
calendar.
have Netflix specials selling out theaters.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm mentioning something coming up in 3 weeks. You're talking about February 28th.
Well, I'm filming a thing.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah.
All right. I was just going to say January 11th.
Yeah.
I'm in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
I'm just making fun of you a little bit.
2 shows. You do your whole calendar. You pull up your website.
Top 10 country songs about the cities I'll be in this month. That's how Dusty does it.
Well,
Come on. I got to stick up for Brian.
I'm trying to expose people to good music out here.
That's right.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
All right.
And all I want is for people to, I want people to be able to focus on Brian's upcoming show. I don't want it to get lost in the shuffle.
People don't listen always week of, though, so you got to tell people a few weeks out where you're going to be.
That's true. That's true.
right.
That's a
people
great
are sometimes people are behind. You got
That's a great point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
No, it's not.
It's all good. Just try to remember how it was when you were at our level.
Well, when I was at your level, I didn't even have the podcast.
There you go. There you go. But we do, so we're going to use it.
All right, Dustin, what you got?
I got nothing. Friday, let's see, December 13th, 14th, I'll be with Nate Bargatze. I think you guys heard of him. We will be at the Comedy Magic Club in Hermosa Beach.
Nice.
Oh, great club.
And yeah, I'm excited. That's going to be fun with Nick Novicki and Julian McCullough. And then I'll be headlining Des Moines Funny Bone, December 27th and 28th.
Awesome.
Pretty excited to be out there.
Yeah,
First time,
awesome.
so it's a lot of fun.
It's a great club.
Yeah, I'm
Are
excited.
you upset with me about me saying that?
Yes, I am.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we'll talk off air about it, but yeah. Just Florence, Alabama show got canceled.
Oh,
What?
no.
We'll talk about it off air, but it is no longer happening. I will not be in Florence this weekend.
Oh, gosh.
But what that has done is allowed me to kind of regroup and collect my thoughts for my 2025 dates.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'm hitting the ball, hitting the
Ground.
I'm hitting it,
Yep.
hitting the ground running. Detroit, I'm in Detroit, and then hold on, let me pull it up. Detroit House of Comedy. I've never done stand-up in Detroit before, so that's exciting. That's January 17th and 18th. Then I'm doing a Texas run down your ways, Dustin, San Antonio, Houston, Austin.
Nice.
I'm all over. So AaronWeberComedy.com. Come check me out.
Do you live in Texas, Dustin?
No, we live in Hollywood.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay.
But if you
He's
were
from there.
if
Born
you
and
had-
raised,
if
yeah.
you had tickets to Aaron's December 13th show in Florence, Alabama, come to my show at Fort Worth. Same
That's
night. Your night's free now. Come on out.
It's only across a couple of states.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not a
right.
big deal.
Yeah,
It's fun to get some tunes.
Yeah,
get a
just
nice,
hop in the Florence International Airport and fly to
All right. I'm going to do 2.
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
advertise
Do as
2
many as
shows.
you want,
You
Dustin.
do 3.
I'm just going to say this podcast is coming out on Wednesday. Tomorrow night,
Thursday.
on Thursday, I'm going to be in Las Vegas, part of the rodeo. I forget where I'm at, but
Las Vegas.
in Las Vegas, go to dustyslade.com. You can find exactly where I'm at. The David Copperfield Theater, MGM Grand, I think. Yeah, it's a big
Good
deal.
job.
It's going to be great. And then on Tuesday, since we won't have a podcast until the Tuesday, 17th, Zanies.
Boom.
I have a show here. Dusty Slade's
Boom.
Grand Ole Comedy Show.
I had one the same night and I canceled it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Mhm.
I don't want to compete against you,
Yeah,
Dusty.
nobody does.
I don't think it's even competing. It's like, we're like,
You're right
It's
about that.
competing.
we're doing a Zanies takeover, a Nateland takeover that night.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And yeah.
If only work like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think this has been a really great podcast.
I think so too.
I like the way it was run. I feel good about it. I want to just close out by saying I did get the key to the city in Opelika, Alabama. I want you guys to know I'm very excited about it.
Incredible.
Nice.
Thank you, Mayor Fuller, and the city of Opelika.
Very cool.
Chamber of
Dusty's
Commerce.
coming for your job.
And
I got a Best Western key right here.
yes. And all right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for
Absolutely.
joining me.
Thank you, guys.
It's been a great time, and we're having a good time.
Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.